right, everybody, welcome back to the Bar Pro League Season 8 Finals. This is Barcast TV. I've got a couple other players here ready to do the intro. I've got our finalists here ready for some interviews. We're hyped for the best of 7 finals. Hope you are too. Let's get into it.
Hello to everyone to the chat as well. Hope you're gonna like the games and hope the players will show off their best skills today. Pretty excited.
Yeah, thanks, Sash. So we can go over some of the players, kind of how we got here. Started off in the round of 8. Autopilot, X Factor, Blodir, Raxel, C3BO, Domino, Andy, and Akomar. That went down yesterday. Got some matches played. And some players advance. Semifinals, which were particularly good, I'd say. What did you like about the semifinals, Sash?
Oh, the semifinals were amazing. I would say like both series were amazing in their own way. I would say Randy and X Factor series, it was very interesting considering both players were trying something new and they seemed to be messy in a way, but because of that they were quite interesting because we haven't seen that before really. It's also partly because Randy always cooks up some interesting builds in skirmish and then shows them for us how it's done. And Bloody Autopod is it's a clash of two kind of like similar styles, I would say. I was very interesting to watch. I think like Bloody and Autopod game was probably the best I've ever seen in a bar. Very competitive, very high skill level games.
Yeah, absolutely. Both series, like you said, great in their own right. Just representing different play styles, right? At the highest level too. At that, so we had Andy advance over X Factor and Autopilot over Blodir, which was just insane to say because I mean that round of 4 is just so stacked, right? But here we are in the grand finals. We've got Andy, we've got Autopilot. And a best of 7 today, so we're gonna see a lot of different maps. We should end up seeing either Seth's Ravine, FTL, or Shallow Straits at some point today, I'm sure.
Maybe some cheesy builds
Yeah,
will be shown today.
yeah, just
Yeah.
perfect place to bust them out. Could take a look at the map pool actually. I've been really happy with how the games have looked over this season. Sash, do you have any comments on maybe maps you liked, maps
Um,
had initial thoughts on, might have changed, or?
I've been commenting on it yesterday with Sleek, and I mentioned the part that I really liked Hades Ponds, even though it's a large map. It's just fun in its own way. There are lots of expansions, and it's the only map where you can kind of go tier 2 outside of the map pool or whatever. It's just really the map where you can go and actually play other stages of the game. There are obviously maps like DSD. They weren't really, how to say, well, they're quite asymmetric, that map particularly. And one spot can be played very differently towards the other. That was making some confusion for me at least. But overall, all maps seem quite decent to me, and I really liked your picks for the map pool, and probably mine were also not that bad after all.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't quite know DSD had such I guess asymmetrical components to it. I didn't quite notice that. I like to exclude those maps from the map pools, so it's interesting to hear you say that. Anyways, pretty happy with how the map pool shaked out. I saw a lot of games on FTL, more than I expected when it ended up in the pool. So that was kind of cool to see. Shallow Straits as well. It's just so crazy having these maps in the pool because
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So I've been happy with it. As always, really looking for feedback from the players, of course, at the end of every season. So if you're happy with it, if you hated certain parts of it, just reach out to me, let us know, and we're always looking to make the league better. But That's that. I think we can start getting into some player interviews. I see Autopilot here. Andy, hope you're here too. I have a tradition here and the BPL to interview the finalists and do the map picking and banning on the stream. So hopefully you guys are down for it. Again, Andy, Autopilot,
Hey,
how are you doing, guys?
what's up? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good as well. I'm ready to play.
All right, I've got a few questions here for you guys. Hopefully you don't mind. Before we get into the interview, I guess I can ask one of y'all, like, what did you see anything in the meta that kind of surprised you this season? From when you kind of initially were going into it.
Me personally, no, not really. A lot of people
I was a bit.
play. Sorry, go on.
No, yeah, you can go.
I think a lot of people have their style and they like to stick to that and only adapting a little bit to the maps and such.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised how strong Blitz are in the current meta. I try to play Incisor, but it feels like it kinda loses to Blitz. So that was definitely interesting.
Okay. So Andy, what do you think makes Autopilot such a dangerous opponent?
He's just good at everything, all the aspects. He's good at macro, micro, multitasking, economy management. So yeah, it's tough to beat someone who's good in all areas.
That's right. That's right. Autopilot, super strong finalist. I would not want to be in your shoes right now, but I'm a casual spectator. I get to see all these matches. Autopilot, do you make any adjustments going into the finals, knowing your opponent's Andy, or you just what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I know what kind of opponent Rand is. He can definitely come up with some interesting cheese. Like, I definitely need some redemption from that mine snipe from last BPL. So
I forgot about that.
yeah. So yeah, I'm ready for anything.
I would like to ask one question. Are you guys stressed? And particularly Randy, because it's his third final for BPL in a row as well. That's a pretty good result. But in two previous finals, you weren't been able to show off your best skills. But now is the other day. You're well rested, and well, you haven't run out of stamina as well. So we'll hopefully see your best place. But are you like scared of Autopilot in a way you were scared of like Bloodier maybe?
I think like Blood, Auto, X Factor are all quite similar levels to each other, and I think that's slightly above my level. So I have to bring some creativity and such to try and even the playing field a bit. But yeah, I'm not really too nervous. I mean, I've got to the final a few times in a row, which I think has been an overperformance. I wouldn't expect to get to the final so often against such players, but I think I've got a little bit lucky, and hopefully I can get lucky one more time today.
Well, what I say is luck favors the best, so you're here for a reason anyway. You've been better
Yeah,
than other players.
Andy's being modest right now. He's a very good player, so
Yeah.
No, I do know I'm good, but I'm probably like out of the active players, probably around about fourth best behind those three. So I can, if I have a good day, I can beat them. Hopefully, I'm having a good day.
Yeah, we'll hopefully see all 7 maps today.
All right. Well, if you guys are ready to get into the picks and bans, we can go ahead and do that. I think it's like I'm actually not sure how to do it because you both have like the equal seating, I guess, right? Or who would go first or second? I guess you can do like a coin flip, perhaps, something like that.
you have a coin, Barkas?
I do. So Andy's heads, Autopilot's tails. It's tails. All right, Otto, you go first, my friend. And if
Yeah,
if you know the bans and picks order,
yeah, it's just one ban and then picks, right?
that's right.
Yeah. Okay, I ban Shallow.
Kind of thought that would be coming. I'll ban DST.
I'll pick Gasbag.
Let's play after that. Heartbreak.
Pick Cirolata.
Let's do FPL. Both.
So what does that leave?
We still got Greenhaven, Hades, and Seth's Ravine.
That's right.
I'll pick Greenhaven.
I'll pick Seth's Ravine, so Hades last.
All right, got our map pool. Pretty interesting choices. Really not surprised to see Shallow Straits banned, so
It's a shame.
Yeah, I was surprised. But it's actually Greenhaven pick for Autopilot, not for Randy.
all right, well, hopefully y'all are ready to play your matches. If you guys are, we can kind of get into the lobby and start our matches. So just want to say good luck, Andy. Good luck, Autopilot. Really happy you guys made it here, and yeah.
Yeah, good luck to you both. Hope to see 7 maps, as I said.
Yeah, good luck, Otto.
Yeah, good luck you too.
Very excited
Okay.
to see these matches. While we're kind of loading into the game, just want to take a few moments to thank everyone who really makes this happen. Players, the casters, the patrons, the YouTube members. It all kind of culminates into just such a great finals and experience we all get to enjoy together. So just want to say thanks. Get loaded over into the lobby here. Can do some edit these lobby settings real fast.
Give the boss to Randy so he can do all of it, maybe?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I'm actually not surprised with the Gasbag pick. Maybe just a bit with the part. Yesterday, Randy mentioned that he did not prepare anything for the Greenhaven, and he did not know what to do on that map. And well, from what we saw on semifinals against X Factor, that was right. He came unprepared for that map, and he, well, did not manage to play well on it. And I was a bit surprised at Auto, knowing that, did not choose that map first for his first pick. But maybe there is well, there is a reason behind it. Oh, we'll see right now, I
Yeah,
guess.
Greenhaven, a pretty technical map, I'd say. You might not expect it at first glance, but just because of the asymmetric, it's not really asymmetrical, but there's like 2.3 mexes in specific locations up that are like worth more than other mexes. So like stuff like that, and I guess there's a bit of reclaim issues too. It's not totally symmetrical across the map, but that one I don't think breaks the map at all.
I kind of started liking Greenhaven after playing it a bit myself in the practice games. I've been practicing with Autopilot and Slick, and I kind of liked it in a way. It showed me that you can actually play kind of everything on that map, bots and vehicle, and I would say you could play Armada vehicle as well as core vehicle, and that would be kind of the same result. And from what we heard out from Autopilot from today's interview, he actually mentioned that he was surprised with how Blitz performing.
Right.
Yeah, so he probably thought that Blitz is probably going to be the meta on this kind of like large maps, uh, with there is space and yeah. What do you actually think about this? Is Blitz the meta right now, or would you play different way if you were the
If
finalists right now?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm the best player, but if I think people are abusing like Blitz and Rovers, it actually makes me want to lean towards opening grunts because you can have such like, I don't say safe opens. It's just really easy to defend, I'd say, in that first early couple of minutes. But that's just me. Might not be optimal, but I definitely do struggle with like perhaps it's just an adjustment I need to make, but it's just going from playing against incisors like 90% of the time to blitz. It's just a little bit different. It's an adjustment. But
Yeah, it's after all the preferences of the player, and we're all different. We're different characters and different strategies in our mind. Our brains work different way as well, and we might think that blitzes are better, but it might be not true. But it just in our eyes, it might be better. So yeah, it's all just preferences. Um, and I think actually blitzes are performing much better after that incisor nerf we've got from the previous patch. Maybe the one previous, the one that was in November, or when was it? I don't actually remember when was it. And it actually changed it in a way that, well, it got much worse, I would say. And well, blitzes got even more speed on that update, and it's now really good on these like large maps where you have space to go around and just try to leak somewhere, engage into whatever army you want, because you can always choose in what army you engage or not, because you have just more speed. You can always run from it, or you can always get a better engagement of your enemy.
yeah, and use that flanking damage to your advantage. Looking at this map pool, do you think it favors Andy or Autopilot as the series progresses? Or
That's actually an interesting question, because I'm not sure if Randy is like much worse than Autopilot on Gasbag. He's pretty good on it. Then we got Heartbreak, and I think Heartbreak is already in a huge favor of Autopilot. He showed it yesterday. He knows that map pretty well, and like I don't think there is any player right now better than him on that specific map. There is Cirolata, FTL, Greenhaven. Well, in my experience, like a player like Autopilot or Bloodier, very similar game styles. They like to play on the more macro maps because
Welcome,
they know very
Commander.
well of how to spend the metal, of how to expand, of how to like just use this map size or the maxes amount in their own favor. They're doing it pretty good, and I think map like Cirolata
Battle
is
started.
working for them pretty well.
Well said, well said. Well, we have our 2 finalists. We're loading into game number 1 on Gasbag Grabens. We've got Andy over here playing as the Red Commander. Cortex Commander, that is. And Autopilot spawning on the other side, also playing the Cortex Commander.
Yeah, they're doing the same spawns right now. I think they're both plans are like just to get this Geo done pretty quickly. Because that's what this spawn is for, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, the jury's out whether or not making the AGO right there is good or not. I think this spot is a little bit better. I guess you're kind of protected from that blast radius from the mountains, right? But like you said, both these geos very important to take on this map, despite being a relatively high wind speed. And yeah, both players looking like they're opening Cortex bots on here. No surprise. Got access to the energy reclaim. Tons of different paths to expand construction bots down. And of course, Grunt's pretty good in these. This is a tighter kind of linear map here in the middle.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty standard of what they're doing right now. Both queuing up press, but first, both going for that reclaim, both going for some solar. Yeah, pretty standard right now. There's no real difference so far in their gameplay.
Even opting for 2 solars. I've seen certain players go a little more solar heavy off of the opens on this map, just because you have the 4 mexes, right? So, not sure if you've noticed that as well.
Yeah, I've seen it from Bladier yesterday. He was trying to play more like a solar build at the start. It was working quite well for him. I'm not sure about that. It's just, as I said, as well as I mentioned before, it's all just our preferences, and it might just be good for us, might not be good for others. So, yeah, it's just how we play, how we see the game.
So, how would you describe Andy's playstyle?
Oh, and this playstyle is always just trying to, well, especially in finals, in more like important games, he's always trying to play extra greedy. That's at least the thing that I noticed over time. But we actually don't see it in this game specifically, because in previous finals or in previous like important games, he could just open like 4 or 5 cons first and just go expand. Which is not the thing we see right now, considering he's going quite a bit of grunts before that. Maybe he's gonna compensate it with the commander expand. We'll see.
I actually prefer Andy's open here. He's got his construction turret up. I get he's double making solars right now, which I think is a bit of a mistake. But his commander technically is already expanding, right? Kind of walking out of the main base.
Yeah. He's trying to play more safe, I would say. That's his take on this map. Maybe on this series in general. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, but I like this contour as well. It's really cool, especially when you're expanding with Commander on such a, well, it's anti-poverty map, I would say. It's well, you have lots of maxes on this map, and they're really close to each other, and you just get lots of metal from them.
That's definitely the truth. Kind of a higher macro map. The mexes are like 2.3, so you have multiple geos to use. Wind's relatively high, so that's why you see T2 so often on these games. But you know, I think Autopilot had a little bit of a window there to attack a little bit deeper into Andy's main base. He didn't spot this red spot over here above the geo. He might have noticed the trees being reclaimed through the fog of war, but take a look back at his main base here. He has his own construction turret online, just continuing to scale energy. Probably looking to take that geo relatively soon. Andy working on an energy storage, more con turrets. This is a pretty interesting difference. I mean, Andy's commander already to the middle of the map is kind of locking this down. Looks like he's going to be moving up to the 3 mexes above this shortly thereafter. He's got a lot of units here, kind of rallied forward. What do you think about these positions, Sash?
Well, I would say Randy's expand is looking better so far. He's got a com and 4 cons expanding at the same time. That's a lot. And he'll get his expansions quicker than Autopod, and he will come ahead of that. That's what that's what I think for now.
Yeah, difference in styles here. Autopilot staying in the main base with the commander does have an energy storage coming up now, really important at this point in the game. Both players just kind of scaling energy and build power as the map gets taken here. Like you said, Andy, a little bit better expanding.
Oh, Randy's actually not spending his metal quite well for now. The wind is relatively high, but he's got no E in storage, and he's going for the Geo while not having much energy in his bank. And there is the first problem I see in this game so far. We'll see how he solve it.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to start making some solars here. Maybe even use these expanding cons to put down a solar real quick, because he definitely has the metal to spend. Looks like he's paused his lab for now. The Geo did finish, so he's going to be adding on some build power. And Autopilot just now starting his Geo. So Andy did take a bit of an energy lead here at the moment, but does have quite the bank to spend through. Perhaps he puts down a second lab here.
Yeah, in the meantime, Autopilot has been scaling energy with some solars and windmills. And, well, he's been doing it pretty successful. He's got 4 contours, and he's got this Geo in like 15 seconds or so. That was pretty quick. And I think he's going to be in the lead of the energy economy.
Yeah, adding down additional energy storage. Looks like Andy is making a forward lap with his commander.
Oh, he's probably going to try some double tag push. Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
He likes to do this kind of styles. I kind of like it.
I think he needs a little bit more energy here. I would like to see a few extra solars come online to kind of fund all this, but
yeah, he's planning on taking it slower. He's like opting to take the other Geo. It's going to get down soon. Yeah, I mean, after all, he's spending his metal. He's doing pretty well. Well, he's doing good. Yeah, both players are doing pretty good.
a little bit of a push here from Autopilot. He does have superior grunt numbers, but Andy is just retreating to more and more LLT, so definitely cannot run into this. Left a bit of a reclaim field here for Andy. He already has multiple cons here on the front line. He's got a resbot here. He can start resing, but we'll have to see where are all these thugs actually going to end up going to. There's so many out right now. 18 thugs all grouping together, looking to push into this area of Autopilot, but he already has multiple twin guards set up, opting for those instead of the exploders.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've seen Twin Guard is doing a pretty good job at killing thugs yesterday. I mean, actually, it was just simple LTs against thugs from X Factor. We seen it yesterday, and it was pretty good actually. But we'll see how Twin Guards deal against it.
Yeah, Andy pushing in here with his slugs, takes down one quickly enough. There's another one building. He's gonna target that down.
But in the meantime, actually, the damage efficiency is going in Autopat's favor, I would say. Actually, it isn't. He's lost a couple cons just now.
Yeah, looks like Autopilot's bringing some build power down to this huge push from Andy. I would like to see some resbots make their way to this front line here. There's so much of these battles can be won or lost via the resbots, and we can see Autopilot already has 3 on the front line now, repairing his slugs. So it's really strong use of that 200 build power each resbot.
Yeah, in the meantime, there are 4 coming from Randy, and he's also going to try to reclaim some of these wreckages.
There's a lot of tension that's going to be fought over this this reclaim field here. Autopilot trying to res this twin guard. Looks like Andy ends up kind of targeting that wreckage down, so not going to come online for him. He needs to get his own resbots working here. Yeah, getting that repair. Looks like he's just trying to be really careful with the micro here. Don't want to lose those res bots.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting game because none of the players is trying to play a standard game like going air or doing some kind of bomber or shuriken plays or even scouting the enemy with the scouts, the airplane scouts. It's well, it's kind of not very like common
Yeah, both players
gameplay.
totally committed to this fight here in mid, just making as many thugs as they can. There's so many thugs out here, and 68 on the front line. Looks like Andy's gonna go for an agitator here. He wants to push into this area of autopilot. I don't know if he really can. I mean, they're so good defensively, right? And autopilot even has a bit of high ground to retreat to over here and here. So I don't really think Andy can push much farther into this.
I actually like a lot this agitator play. Randy's playing very smart, but in the meantime, Autobot is scouted everything, and he knows about this agitator, and he's making bombers, planning on bombing Geos, I suppose. And we'll see how it goes for him. In the meantime, we see like the large fight, just thugs against thugs, just roaming and killing each other.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Where did those res bots go? So Andy has him kind of tucked in the back for now. He doesn't quite need to use them. He's trying to get this agitator up, and like you said, autopilot is working on this bombing run. So Andy did make a single anti-air turret and eradicator here on his top geo, but I don't see any anti-air going up in his main base right now, and he needs to start those right away because this bombing run is already on its way.
Oh, what is he trying to bomb? He's going for the agitator? Can he actually bomb it? I don't think so. Yeah, he's no very like successful bombing run.
Yeah, it takes it down about half health here. I think the better target could have been the main base because, I mean, yeah, this is 1,300 metal investment, but autopilot spent a lot of metal, a lot of time and energy on these bombers to just get an agitator up that can even be rezzed. We'll see if he commits to blowing up the wreckage. Looks like he is.
Oh well, it won't work.
Doesn't even get the wreckage here. Andy already has 4 res bots, and it's totally free to replace this. It's almost res. It's already at 30%.
Yeah, he's doing it pretty quickly, but there are bed bugs in the meantime. I'm actually not sure how Randy is gonna defend against them. They're gonna blow up. Oh my god, they're actually blowing up lots of army of Randy on the front line.
Yeah, T2 out for autopilot. Didn't notice that. He managed to get this up after his bombing run here. He has 2 bed bugs here at the front line. Andy's like trying to react to this. He needs to get his own T2 lab down. We'll have to see if he makes it in the main base or the that expansion he has up top. But even Shuri's coming in here to stun units and then bomb them. Like, this is crazy play. Okay,
Yeah.
Andy, is he gonna res or is he gonna reclaim here? Because he has to make a decision whether or not to go T2 or just keep printing thugs, right?
Usually, Randy doesn't like going tier 2, or he's going tier 2 and he's got lots of advantage over enemy. He's like the type of player who doesn't necessarily go tier 2 for the sake of going tier 2. That's what I think, at least.
We'll have to see. These bed bugs connections are pretty good micro on the first one, but the second one grabs 4 thugs, and there's 2 more bed bugs here, so Andy has to continue microing against these. He's backing up against the one. Doesn't get a great connection. Really nice splitting here from Andy.
Yeah, meanwhile, Autopilot is upgrading the maxes, but he's losing on the army value, and Randy has got double the army value of Autopilot, and he's going for another agitator on front. And they're slowly getting more and more value. That's a pretty good decision by him, I would say.
Yeah.
And the entire south has been just deleted from Autopilot.
And there's so many thugs here. Another 40 thugs walking on the south, kind of south part of Autopilot's base. He has enough here to defend against the thugs of Andy, but, you know, as soon as these res bots kick in, this fight may end up going Andy's way. I mean, he has 2 agitators here, just adding so much DPS to this. Sumos out here from Autopilot, Shuris and bedbugs trying to shut down this push on the south side of the map. We'll have to see if Autopilot can defend this. I think he might actually have it here. Sumos are so strong against T1 units, especially if they're like T2 pounders almost. If you're pushing into them, they're just so damage efficient.
Yeah, they're very tanky as well.
Okay, first sumo shows up. Andy has more thugs to kind of press into Autopilot's base and threaten this position. He's trying to win this fight over here. I'd really like to see him just gobble up all this metal, or at least spend his metal. He's got 1,700 metal in the bank right now.
It's actually impossible. There is a third agitator going up. The Randy is actually just abusing Autopilot's frontline right now, and he's taking all that reclaim field under his control. I don't think Autopilot will be able to take it away from him anymore.
Okay, Andy just now starting his T2 lab. He's going to put this up really quickly. He's got tons of metal to spend, but there's more Shuris here on the front line. Really forcing Andy back with this this big group of thugs. I think he's wasting a bit of, I guess, tempo here, right? He either needs to make an air lab of his own in the main base or just try and find a way to get anti-air bots into this army composition. But now there's, you know, seven sumos here on the south side of Autopilot's base, defending it from what once was a huge thug push. Andy kind of slipping in some thugs on the top side of here, cleaning up a few more of Autopilot's mexes. He really has kind of boxed them in. These three agitators are going to take a lot of time to clear out. Autopilot does have quite a few T2 mexes online and his advanced geo, but, you know, Andy has a lot of map control.
Yeah, he's got actually the tier 2 lab going, and he's going for the fusion and some max expanse. And I think he will come ahead of this fight. The south is absolutely deleted from Autopilot. He doesn't have any maxes on the south. He's lost some of the north, and he did not reclaim anything on that main reclaim field.
These agitators still kind of chipping away at these units. I mean, they only have 8 kills, but that doesn't really tell you the whole story here. There's plenty of static defense for now to buy Andy some time to kind of finish this fusion, which he did spend through all his metal, which is really good to see.
Yeah, he might try to maybe reclaim these agitators right now to get some additional metal for the expanse and maybe better units from the tier 2 lab. We'll see how he approaches it.
So Autopilot has a little bit of breathing room, it seems like. So he's just going to be making a bunch of Twitchers now. Going to scale some build power in his main base. He does have 2,500 metal to burn through, so we'll have to see what does he choose to make. I would like to see, okay, I was going to say either a fusion or another AGO come online. Looks like he's going to start the second one with his second T2 con. He has another one expanding or capping mexes here all along the east side of the map, but Autopilot is sending his sumos in, so Andy needs to defend this position. He needs to either, I mean, he has to either reclaim or defend these agitators. One's already going down. He's got sumos trying to reinforce this area, but, you know, 2 versus 4 isn't the matchup you want here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the sumos are gonna deal that much of the damage, considering Randy's got his own ones on the front. Yeah, they're defending it pretty well. Well, 2 agitators after all died, but they're gonna get reclaimed by Randy anyway, because he controls that reclaim field all the time.
Yeah, Andy has a pretty nice army advantage right now, 27%. He has 8 sumos kind of leading this line of thugs here that he has left over from the T1 phase of the game, and I think he has anti-air. Those Shuris like kind of instantly went down. There's more showing up trying to threaten this position, but Andy has a comfortable spot here in Autopilot's side of the map. I'm sure Autopilot is feeling the pressure right now. He's trying to retake his kind of south side, but Andy still has these agitators, a huge T1 army mixed in with some T2 units, pressuring Autopilot's position right here. You can't lose this hill against your opponent.
Yeah, and finally we actually see the spy bots. They're pretty useful after the change. After the latest change, they've been pretty successful in any 8v8 games, and now we see them in 1v1, and Randy is showing off their strength, even though he wasn't been quite able to like stun the sumo completely, but he just needs to get 2 spy bots at the same time and he would be able to stun them for 9 seconds, and that's enough time to just kill the unit, pretty much. We'll see if he does it.
Andy missing some anti-air with his army here. Shuris get the jump on these sumos that are trying to sneak through, and those are really going to let Autopilot's own sumos even catch up. You see bed bugs even detonating on these, so... Andy's going to bring up his own Figs to try and clear out these Shuris. Autopilot's going to lose all of his Shuris right now. Figs coming in from Andy just wipe all of those out, so it looks like air control going to Andy. Maybe he follows this up with a bombing run, but I think he needs to start another fusion. Yeah, we do. See, Andy's got a second one going up in his main base. Autopilot's making a third and fourth fusion, trying to increase his build power here and just fix his air control issue.
Yeah, he actually reclaimed the fusion he was making because he understood that he doesn't have enough metal to build that fusion just yet. Yeah, he needs to defend against these thugs right now.
He's printing sumos right now. There's already 5 here to defend against these thugs, mixed in with a few twin guards, but you know, there might be an opportunity here for Andy to kind of just ignore this and go for the Agio. We'll see if he wants to commit on it. Sumos do a lot of damage, and there's so many here right now, so this is going to be close. Sure, he's jumping on top of this army. I don't think Andy's going to quite get it. Yeah, he's going to bring it down to about, you know, 60%. But Shuris and Sumos save the day.
Yeah, he's taking them down pretty successfully. Not losing that Agio, 67% left. He might need to just get the rear spots going, just to reclaim all this. Maybe resurrect some of the Sumos. Oh, but the raid on North, he's got no units on North again. And this con with the Twitcher might die.
Yeah, Autopilot does have a T2 point defense set up here protecting these 4 X's, but he doesn't have any units right now to respond to these sumos, and you know, chasing sumos with sumos never feels good. Andy's gonna run through this position, clear out the twin guards. Doesn't want to go any, much farther forward. He knows there's some Shuris abound. Autopilot's teched into T2 air. He's trying to win back that air control. Meanwhile, Andy's queuing up a bombing run right now. He's already has 9 bombers made. Gonna go for a few more. I think this might be a bit of a blunder from Andy. Autopilot really committing to regaining air control right now. We'll have to see if he is able to kind of spot this out and deal with it with his T2 Figs.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, because when you hit the tier 2 stage and you hit the tier 2 air, you don't see the tier 2 fighters on the radar anymore because they're stealthy. And he doesn't know anything about the air advantage of Autopilot, so he's going for the bombing run, thinking he's got the air advantage over the enemy. But that's a mistake. And we also see that metal produced is going into Autopilot's favor right now, and it's 10% of advantage, even though well, we actually saw that Randy was taking all the expansions from Autopilot, but the tier 2 maxes actually hit, and well, and they're pretty good.
See, Andy is opting for some Sheldons right now to kind of shell away at these sumos. Autopilot has so many sumos right now on the front line, 19 sumos. And like you said, a metal income advantage. He did a really good job recapping these T2 mexes. Andy a little bit slow to cap these mexes on the south side. He finally has enough build power here. Making his own AA, he's making his Figs right now. Autopilot doing a really nice job stabilizing here from that really threatening position. Andy never truly got into the backline and dealt with any of this. And Autopilot getting air control. I mean, his T2 Fig count is increasing, and you know, there is a window of time to deal with T2 air when you're on T1, but after a certain point, you do kind of have to transition.
Yeah, I think what both players think right now is that they're ahead in tier 2. I mean, especially in air. So yeah, one player is trying to bomb, and I think Autopilot was also trying to get some bombers out, but now he sees that bomber run of Randy, and he's going to intercept it.
Looks like Autopilot did end up reclaiming the lab in the middle of his main base. I'm wondering if he's kind of planning a transition here.
I mean, maybe we're actually going to see the Aegis like yesterday. Maybe he's going to try to get some more eco going, but maybe it's just the tier 3 transition. Could be that as well.
The bombing run unsuccessfully took place, and now I think the game is really kind of swung into Autopilot's favor. He has these Arbiters out, constantly shelling away at Andy's position here. Looks like Andy's going for his own Arbiters though, so he's got 8 of these out. He's making some more, just has these on repeat right now. I'd like to see some more energy scaling from him, because Autopilot never really stopped. Up to, what is it, 5 fusion, adding so much build power in his main base. This is the transition. Autopilot just moving his kind of main base to up on this central plateau.
Yeah, he'll try to get the air advantage and probably go for gunships. That's probably the play he's trying to do.
See tons of Shuris here showing up from Autopilot. Andy trying to push this south position. There's several T2 mexes here to take out and deny. Scorpion battery going to be shelling away at these sumos. Looks like the air is going to come in from both players. Autopilot's going to handedly win this air battle, and the Shuris just have free reign to stun this whole army. Andy really needs to commit to some kind of way to get back into air. And here are the T2 gunships ready to shut this down. So looks like this is going to be totally cleaned up by Autopilot here. Meanwhile, we still have this line of sumos eating all of these Arbiter shots from Andy. It looks like Andy's going to be making a transition. He's got 11k metal in the bank. Needs to get a few more fusions and then maybe T2 Air Lab.
We see a pretty interesting transition. He's going for the LRPC. He's probably going to try to snipe the Agios. Maybe not. Maybe the tier 2 converter on North. Oh yeah, he's actually targeting the tier 2 converter on North. That's a pretty interesting target. I was expecting him to go for an Agio to snipe maybe some more of the stuff with the explosion.
Wait, yeah, Andy has an LRPC up?
No, the Autopilot.
Oh.
It's right here, in the middle of the map.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what is the range on this? Okay, all the way to the back of Andy's main base. All right, pretty strong.
Yeah. It's 14,000 metal for Randy in the bank. Let's see how he spends it. He's going for the tier 3. Probably, yeah, the Shiva on repeat.
Do you think there's ever a case to just go T2 vehicles for the anti-air vehicle if you're kind of this behind in air? You want to defend yourself?
There is definitely a reason behind it. Yeah, and I think it's not bad. Well, it's just kind of the lost tempo of you going the lap and then reclaiming it. It's a lost DP, but it's obviously a play you could do. I don't think it's that mistake in the game overall. Yeah, especially as you mentioned, if you're losing air control.
Yeah, right. It's going to be so hard for Andy to get back into this. Looks like Autopilot is feeling comfortable. He's going for his first APHIS. Reclaims his T2 Air Lab to get this finished. And, you know, this is just, I would say, Autopilot's comfort zone. This is the kind of game he wants to play right now. Just totally content to sit back, macro, reclaim or res this 3.85k here. Already has res bots going to the south side. We're going to res these T2 maxes, going to res the Scorpion. And, you know, it's really not a bad position. He does have the map split in half. Andy was able to get up a plasma shield here. That's going to defend his kind of forward main base here from Autopilot's LRPCs. Autopilot going to instead retarget to the Geo of Andy, which Andy doesn't have a T2 con around here to make that Overseer. See, he's making one by the Geo kind of north of his main base, but I'm a bit worried for that.
Yeah, I don't think it's that good of a decision. It's just that the Geo, you can probably lose it. No reason to spend so much metal into that.
T2 air control going to Autopilot, so he's just going to start roasting these Shivas with these gunships he's made. He cleared out the anti-air of Andy, so these gunships have free reign for now, and you know, these Shivas do not have anti-air. I wonder if there's maybe Andy needs to find a way to get anti-air into his army composition, because Autopilot is just going to continue to abuse these T2 gunships.
Yeah, he's abusing him in his own favor to get more space for himself, to get more eco going. Yeah, we've seen the first AFUs going up, and that's a really impressive eco boost for him. And that's gonna get him into the lead of the whole game.
Yeah, so much pressure. And the next transition here from autopilot is just going to be printing mammoths. So he's going to find a way to spend that metal. These units are so good at, like, for so long into the game, especially if you're able to kind of print them like this. As soon as you get to 3 or 4, they're just so tanky, so good at dealing with spam. We'll have to see how those fare against the Shiva composition here from Andy.
He's probably going to try to raid the other side with the Shivas. Maybe that's what he's planning on. But he actually needs a long-range anti-air against this tier 2 air advantage of autopilot. The tier 2 long-range anti-air just melts it all down and consistently gets its value on killing them.
Yeah, this is another kind of weak point for this position for Andy. He's built a lot of his build power and economy up here, you know, kind of halfway towards autopilot's main base, and I can see a time in this game where bombers kind of come over this cliff, hit this position, and really take out a lot of the build power and economy of Andy.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a stalemate right now. We don't see many action going on. It's just Shiva can't expand forward because Autopilot's got the huge air advantage. But I guess they're now tier 1 AA on front. And I guess with that he will try to actually go forward with all the Shivas.
22 T1 anti-air bots, the composition here mixed in with the Shivas. They're going in, gonna start melting down these mammoths. Gunship's gonna come forward for autopilot.
I'm not sure if it's that successful. There is an advanced exploiter and lots of wasps with mammoth.
Yeah, I've been seeing more and more of these advanced exploiters. They have such long range and really just do a lot of damage. Finally, it goes down. There's still 4 mammoths here in the back line. Autopilot putting up a bulwark here, gonna help protect this build power. There's a lot of HP here for Andy to chew through before he gets to this main base here. Before he gets to the bulwark, there's still more and more gunships being printed right now out of the T2 air lab of autopilot. Andy still has quite a few T1 anti-air bots. It looks like he's just printing them out of one lab on repeat. Andy,
there are a couple tier 2 bombers out actually from autopilot. I'm not sure what he's going to do with them.
Even bed bugs coming out here from Andy. Doesn't quite have enough grunts to screen for these. Looks one connection's gonna be made. Self-D just totally kills a Shiva. Andy inching his way forward into autopilot's terrain, but here we are, the defensive mammoths. Gunship stepping forward. I don't think he really even needs to. Andy's already backing up. And T2 bombers coming forward, killing a Shiva, really. Pretty interesting to see these used kind of defensively.
Wow, he's just going to snipe all the tier 1 AA with them. That was an interesting choice. And actually he's dropping a tier 3 lap himself.
Yeah, autopilot gonna be printing some Shivas of his own. This LRPC, I think Andy reclaimed this Geo here because I didn't see it detonate in his main base. He was able to get multiple overseers out. I think he needs to make another one down here where he's scaling his energy.
I think autopilot saw the overseer and he just decided to stop shooting at it, even though it was like around 50%. And then Randy just reclaimed it.
So Andy trying to move a little bit south here, away from these mammoths. Gunships show up to this army. Andy's going to bring in his figs once again, taking a fight over autopilot's side of the map. Totally gets cleared out. Resets that fig count, and autopilot in a comfortable position here with the air control. It's going to let him continue abusing Shivas and P2 gunships. And like you said earlier, Andy needs to start making those, was it T2 long-range anti-air defense turrets, right? This map is pretty small, so the range does extend quite far over autopilot's terrain, and that would really buffer the space to let Andy continue pressuring with these Shiva rockets.
Yeah, it's the matter of remembering all these defenses you could use. There are no like tech nukes in this game. No like just I don't know, persecutors or some Bureks maybe. We only seen just a basilisk from autopilot, and it's pretty successful actually. Already got 33 kills. It's got some XP on it. Yeah, and it forced the enemy to build 3 overseers already, which are pretty costly.
Yeah, they
if you
are
look at their
costly.
price.
Yeah. Looks like Andy's going to try and push this south side with the Shivas. He did clear a couple of mexes from autopilot, but there's so many T2 gunships now ready to jump on this army. T1 anti-air, it's not going to be enough to stop these. They're totally melting these Shivas. I mean, kills one straight away. There's forcing kind of a full retreat here. There are a lot of T1 anti-air bots showing up to maybe slowly push this away, but yeah, it just does force the retreat here. And there's Shivas now on the front line from autopilot. He's gained control of the 16k reclaim field. He's got 3 res bots here resing the T2 mechs, but there's just so much metal sitting right in front of his base.
Oh, he actually got the first screamer out on his main base on the front. And he's gained the first value. It will keep shooting.
Looks like Andy did make a screamer here. Andy trying to, continue trying to pressure the south side. He clears out a few more mexes, so really doing a good job of denying some T2 mexes from autopilot. At 6 right here, this 7th one just got rezzed, so he is trying to find some value. Autopilot bringing his T2 figs over the army of Andy. They're just sitting here peppering away at that. Some more energy scaling in the back of Andy's main base, but still really just laser focused on this position he has over autopilot's kind of half of the map here. Looks like we're gonna rotate some Shivas around here for autopilot to deal with these from Andy. Was that 3 versus 9? It's gonna force Andy to pull some more troops down to kind of reinforce this position. But yeah, autopilot's missing a few T2 mexes. Looks like he's gonna be making a few Carganests right now, and this is where the trouble might actually start. Carganests can traverse so far, really anywhere on this map they want to, so if you can slip 1 or 2 of those behind the enemy line, it can be very difficult to deal with if you have, T2 air control.
Yeah. We see the first advantage of Screamer now. Autobot saw the Screamer and he went with the fighters away, and Randy was able to scout a bit more with his tier 1 scouts because of it. And he's actually got the nuke up already, and it's almost charged, so he's probably going to nuke some army on the front.
Yeah, he has to know there's one in autopilot's main base, but I don't think he was quite able to scout it, so we'll have to see if he chooses correctly where to put this nuclear missile. He could shoot it right here and blow up a lot of res bots, a lot of T3 units, but autopilot's trying to sneak around with these Carganests. I don't think Andy's gonna let him.
Oh yeah, this nuke might be disastrous for autopilot. I don't think he's going to be able to counter it if he just gets nuked on the front. His entire front is going to die. Oh no, Randy is actually nuking the main base.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, you have to know there's an anti-nuke, right? Oh.
I mean, he knew he got scouted. I guess he just didn't pay attention on it or something.
I mean, if you put the nuke right here, there's no way to know though the range on the anti-nuke if it's up. But I mean, you have to kind of, I don't want to say assume, but make an assessment, right? This is a bit of a wasted opportunity for Andy. It looks like he's going to be rotating the majority of his T3 army and anti-air bots to the south here. Autopilot has enough Shivas, I'd say, to defend for now, right? Some of these Shivas for Andy are actually kind of heavily injured as well, so.
Well, some of the things you kind of have to assume, but it's hard. It's hard. He haven't scouted the main base of Autopilot. He doesn't know about all these A fuses. He doesn't know about any eco. So he's just assuming things, and he probably forgot that he got scouted. That was probably the issue.
Looks like some catapults here on the high ground from Andy, really maximizing that range forcing autopilot just slightly back. He's got some bulwarks out. I mean, this is a really nice defensive position. You know, what is it? 4 bulwarks, LRPC, and then your T3 lab right behind it. So there's so much here for Andy to chew through before he gets to autopilot space. But, you know, these catapults are really going to help for now. Just slowly over time, they kind of build up that value. Looks like there is a bit of a back and forth here. Autopilot bringing the Shivas a bit forward here, kind of abusing the same position Andy has on the top side of the map versus Andy himself. Just using those long-range missiles of the Shiva to kind of slowly threaten this position. Andy stacking up a Shiva, taking huge damage on these ones over here. It's going to force him to come down here. Autopilot has, I mean, so many units out right now. Just so many Shivas firing back and forth at each other. It's kind of hard to follow.
Yeah, he's also got more army value right now, so it's pretty understandable that he's gained so much value out of these fights.
Yeah, we see catapults here coming out from autopilot as well. It looks like Andy did step forward and take out one of the bulwarks. Okay, missed that. He knocked one down to about half HP. Bit of a wasted shot there on the bulwarks. He does have them on hold fire, so Andy doing his own micro here, controlling where those missile salvos come out. And you know, fairly even. I mean, Metal Produce only 12% in advantage of autopilot. He does have a very comfortable energy lead right now, but this army value lead 30%. Looks like Andy did throw out another nuke here on top of the army, takes out a few of the Shivas and really heavily damages these other ones. So I mean, these nukes are going to be coming out throughout the game, and Andy's going to try and get some value off of this. Looks like second anti-nuke up here for autopilot, covering the rest of his base.
Yeah, this nuke got quite a bit of impact, damaging all the Shivas, and now he's not going to be able to defend that side.
Yeah, and that's really...
Oh, the Juggernaut. Oh, the Juggernaut is cute.
There is a Juggernaut Q, 2%. Autopilot getting up his 4th APHIS here, so sitting on a really nice energy lead. He's got metal in the bank too, so he's going to try and make this really strong unit. I wonder if Andy's going to give him enough time. There's four aggravators here, or excuse me, catapults on the front line. Really doing a lot of damage to Autopilot's forces here. He's kind of, I mean, what, just down to a few Shivas. There's a couple of bulwarks here. I'm getting a bit worried for Autopilot. That army value swung in favor of Andy right now. I mean, he's Autopilot did kind of recommit a few more Shivas down here to the south with some Sumos, but Sumos don't do fairly well against Shivas. Looks like this Mammoth is going to go down in mid for free. And Andy just slowly chipping away with these catapults, getting more and more value. It's up to 34 kills on them. So, okay, if the Juggernaut comes out, does Andy go for the D-gun?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I'd say it's a huge risk, you know. I wouldn't go for it, for sure, but we'll see if Randy does.
We'll see. We'll see if Autopilot's able to get this up. He has metal in the bank right now. He's not building any APHIS. There's so much build power on this T3 gantry, but, you know, his front is looking a little bit soft right now. Andy's kind of going for it, right?
It's because of the Duke he queued up. I mean, not the Duke, but the Juggernaut he queued up, and now he can't really just cancel it because he spent tons of energy on it, and it won't go back to him. So he's just trying to defend that.
Yeah, it looks like
get the Juggernaut out.
Looks like Autopilot's going to go back into gunship production here. I do see a bit of a window for him to get some value out of those. Looks like Autopilot's going to reinforce his position with some Shivas, but if Andy is paying attention, he could get a really nice flank here on the units. A single catapult shot takes out so much.
Randy's kind of scared of going in.
Yeah, this Juggernaut's almost finished. 13 seconds left on this Juggernaut, 89% ready. And there's just so much metal here in front of, once again, yeah, 20k metal here right in front of Autopilot's main. Andy has a window and he needs to go for it somehow. There's 2 catapults on the high ground here you can try and take out. It's one nice salvo off. There's only 9 Shivas right here to press forward, and that catapult shot from Autopilot did a lot of damage to those T1 units underneath Andy's army. But here we go. Juggernaut is out. Gunships come forward.
Now he finally hears the Juggernaut, and I don't think he's going to go forward anymore.
Like autopilot, yeah, it goes right back into Shiva production here. He's got tons of res bots here on the front line that can start resing. See, Andy does have his T2 air lab up. He did scale some fusions here in the back line, so not too far behind autopilot. I mean, it's just 20%, 11% metal value advantage. Andy looks like he is going to go for the D gun. His commander's cloak. It's walking to the front line.
Oh, that's not an easy decision, that's for sure.
What a game here. Looks like autopilot is rotating this Juggernaut down south. Andy is kind of threatening this position. I don't think he has enough anti-air in this army to commit to that position, knowing how many gunships autopilot has. But these catapults have done a really nice job kind of pushing away this Juggernaut. It's already at 56% health, so looks like Andy nuked this position from autopilot, takes out all the Shivas that were standing there. So I mean, is he going to want to commit down to this side of the map? Autopilot can remake his gunships, but you know, the real threat here is in the middle of the map. This Juggernaut being a little bit indecisive, kind of walking back and forth. Looks like autopilot is going to use it to secure that south position, but it's going to take a while to walk down there.
Yeah, they're just melting this Juggernaut, these catapults. He's got 6 of them just standing on a high ground, getting extra value. And yeah, I don't think Autopilot is able to do anything about them. He needs to get his own ones on the front.
Andy has so much metal in the bank right now. He's got 11k metal to spend. He's throwing these Shivas into the back of Autopilot's main base. There are some anti-air ships here, anti-air bots to defend against these gunships for now. Looks like the Shiva gunship, looks like the Geo is going to be targeted, goes down. There's a little bit of Autopilot's main base, and you know, Autopilot has to deal with these Shivas. If they get up behind the main base, they might even be able to threaten this second Geo back here, which would deal a lot of damage to Autopilot's base.
Yeah, I have to mention, these catapults are just demolishing Autopilot's army. He's just not being able to do anything about them. And they get insane amount of value, and the damage efficiency is growing in Randy's favor. It's now 128%. It's getting bigger and bigger.
Is Andy doing this? This is so interesting. He forced Autopilot's Juggernaut down south to defend, and all of his gunships, so that bought Andy a lot of space here on the front of the map. Looks like Autopilot is committing his T2 gunships here to clear out this T3, and I think Andy might have actually overextended. These catapults might end up going down. There's so many gunships here.
But some of the converters went down, and now Autopilot is not getting this extra metal from them. He's going to excess 7,000 energy per second.
Did Andy spend his bank? He is spending his bank. He's down to 8,000. These catapults that had so much value are going down. He's down to 2 right now, leaving there's like so much metal right here on the front line. Finally, Andy moves his Bresbots in to start reclaiming. Autopilot down to just, what is this, like three catapults and two Shivas here to defend, but it looks like Andy's army is kind of getting cleared out. He's desperately trying to make some anti-air to get into this army. I really think he just needs to make a T2 vehicle lab and just start printing T2 anti-air vehicles here to defend against this army. But it looks like Autopilot is going to stabilize here. He's going to push back this army from Andy. 40k metal here just sitting right outside Autopilot's main base to reclaim. And meanwhile, the Juggernaut was never killed. It's back to 40% HP, and Andy doesn't have that big group of catapults here to kind of shell away at that and just do a lot of damage over time. He did such a good job focus firing on this and getting it down to half health. But now the Juggernaut is here on the front line. This is what Autopilot originally wanted to do. Looks like Andy cleared out the anti-nuke that Auto had on the front line, so he's going to try and send another salvo here. It gets shot down in the air from Autopilot's anti-nuke he still had in the main base. But there should be another nuke coming up. Andy has a really nice concave on this Juggernaut. Autopilot's going to pull it back and really take advantage of that high HP. Andy's stepping forward. He's committing to this attack, but
There are like 3 tier 1 labs going for res, but only just resurrecting all these units. It might be a problem for Randy. And this Juggernaut is going to get self-deed actually, and destroy lots of units. Yeah, they all get damaged a lot.
Yeah, it takes out so much of that T3 army from Andy. He's down to 5 Shivas. He made a few Karganovs here to kind of rotate around the side. Maybe that'll deal with these Resbots here, but like you said, there's so many Resbots. 64 Resbots back here. Resing this whole army that Andy threw into this position earlier.
Already, he's actually building bombers now. I actually don't understand this decision, considering he knows that he's not ahead on air.
Yeah,
He's very behind.
Autopilot has quite the T2 big count to screen in front of his army. All Autopilot has to do really is just res this army. I don't think he has quite enough build power around his T3 lab to spend his metal income, but he surely has enough res bots here to deal with this. So
Yeah, he still has got some like reclaim on south with all these Shivas that Randy has lost while raiding him. Yeah, those could be also get reclaimed or resurrected.
looks like this T3, this LRPC kind of shelling away at this position for Andy, you know, shooting at these catapults. So this game's a 1 hour, huh? Kind of funny from here. Autopilot made a few more APHAs, so he's already up to 6, back to having a pretty comfortable energy lead over Andy, and only a 9% metal produced lead. But I'm just so worried for these resbots. And we see Autopilot 100% army value advantage right now, and just a few more T3 units here to res for Autopilot, and I think he's going to be able to push this high ground position here from Andy.
I mean, he might be able to. I think he kind of should push this position. If he's scouting it, he could know that Randy has nothing on his front. It's just some catapults and Karganevs. He can for sure go in and try to just destroy this entire base.
Yeah, Autopilot already has some catapults of his own out, kind of shelling up at this position here. So we see a catapult being taken out for Andy. He's desperately trying to make some more, but there's just so much pressure here from Autopilot. He rotated 17 Shivas down to the south side here, and there's really nothing to defend except some T1 static defense. There's just no units out here for Andy. And I think as soon as Autopilot realizes either he has an advantage here on this high ground here, pushing into this, or his push on the south, but I think Andy's in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, his catapults are dying, and he still used them up, even though he's getting attacked by Shiva. Oh, these resbots are dying! They're dying to acid on north.
Absolutely
oh my god,
incredible.
They're just resurrecting each other and dying over and over.
But here's the push on south from Autopilot. He's stepping forward, really threatening this, and he has to know here pretty shortly, and there's not much left for Andy in terms of army value.
I actually want to point out that this Screamer got 89 kills already. He's got quite a bit of impact on the game.
Yeah, just one Screamer here over the lab,
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if Andy had built like one here, another one, and then just try to get a bit more anti-air with his army, because like every time Autopilot was close to cracking, he just brought the T2 gunships in. All right, you've overextended, clears out a few Shivas, backs up, and you know, Andy's going to tap out. So what a game number one. Going almost to an hour on Gasbag. You know, expect nothing less out of these two players, but both players showing such strength in this game. Wow.
Battle ended.
Yeah, that was a very good game. Yeah, Randy was forcing his own game style, and it was working pretty good. Until that, well, there were quite a bit of raids that were kind of unnecessary, or they were necessary, but in the way that he needs to just get some anti-air going, and the anti-air he had was definitely not enough. And from what I pointed out in the mid game, that these screamers would get lots of value. He actually made one, and it already got 90 kills. And yeah, if he just kind of looked at it more and just built like 3, 4, maybe 5 of them, maybe some tech nukes, he would have been able to just control that territory non-stop and never lose it. Never lose control over it. And also the air control was the part that kind of won Autopilot the game, because he kept spamming this gunship, he kept having more tier 2 fighters, and it just, well, it was his way to win the game.
Yeah, really nice showing here. A bit of a clash of styles, I'd say, too. I mean, Andy did keep up pretty well, I'd say, in Metal Produce. There was never like a huge lead, and of course, like the tempo we had here for most of the game, I'd say. I mean, Andy really dictated the flow of this game, which is the exact position he wants to be in, carrying out, into future games. But, despite game 1 loss, still a lot of series here left to play. So got to get into game 2 here shortly enough.
Yeah, players are probably taking some, like, kind of a break. It's been 54 minutes of a game. That's quite hard to take it as a player.
And yeah, that's part of, kind of what separates champions. You have to be able to come to these high stress, high stakes matches and, really perform for as long as it takes, right? I mean, the first person to kind of flinch is really going to decide, who ended up winning the series. And it probably feels a little bit different in like an RTS, right? There's no physicality to it, but you can't really tell. I mean, maybe they can, right? Is your opponent making mistakes? I think there was a couple points where Andy might have been respecting Autopilot's position a little bit too much in that first game. So
Welcome, Commander.
These kind of things come into play, and we're here, game number 2.
And it's Heartbreak Hill.
Heartbreak Hill. I think Andy showed a pretty interesting deviation from kind of standard play on this map yesterday. Looks like he's not going to be doing that this game here, but I do think this map favors Andy's play style, so to speak. He's very good at getting in strong positions, forcing fights, fighting
Battle
over reclaim
started.
fields. And if we get a repeat of game number 1, we could find ourselves, Andy having this good position, and then Autopilot's just using that tech advantage, right? Quick T2 lab to defend himself. Autopilot choosing to spawn somewhere that I'm not really used to seeing. What do you think about this, Sash?
He's probably seen the replay from Randy from yesterday, where he played the same spot against X Factor, and it worked quite good. We'll see. He's just trying to copy that, or maybe he came up with something himself. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, 3-mech start here. Looks like Andy gonna be doing the same thing here. I like Andy's position, actually, just because you do have this 90 metal, which, I mean, doesn't sound like a lot, but it does add up. Also, there's a 600 energy tree right here to reclaim if things go south in terms of the win, but
Yeah.
just small little things. But the positional advantage Autopilot gets from being here, I think we saw something like Andy really, or not, well, when Andy spawned here yesterday, he was able to get up on top of this plateau and kind of threaten this position. So it's nice to be able to secure these 4 mexes and this strong position in the middle of the board, as well as there's a really nice kind of expansion path this way with all of these mexes. Usually you're trying to grab those with your main, if you start with your main base right here where Andy started.
I think he's just planning on expanding with just cons and not really with Commander. I think we talked about this with him yesterday, and he also didn't like it where you expand with Commander, because then you lose lots of build power that you could use to just boost out all these grunts out of the lab. So I think he agreed on that fact. But Randy is actually AFK and not boosting his lab for around 15 seconds in the game, and he's got some metal in his bank because of that problem.
Yeah, looks like Wind was going pretty low there for a moment. Andy forced to make a solar collector here, but yeah, a bit of nerves. We were just kind of touching on this earlier as the map started, but maybe Andy's feeling it right now. Kind of a pretty big blunder, I'd say, leaving your commander idle there.
Especially this at the beginning of the game, it's not that good.
Autopilot getting up some really nice radars here, or at least one. I think I saw another one queued over here at some point, but very nice to see.
He's actually trying to expand with Commander again. Yeah, he queued it up on the front.
Oh yeah, trying to. Okay, so he's making a fourth construction bot right now, and then he has
It's actually the fifth one.
fifth one. Excuse me. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Andy going to be expanding with his commander, so pretty interesting kind of clash of styles, right? You don't. I mean, this is a debate I'd say between players. Like, do you leave the commander in the main base? Do you expand with it and bring him out on the board? Both have their strengths and weaknesses, I'd say. On these smaller maps where I'd say it's a little bit better moving your commander out, or the strengths that moving your commander out on the map are more kind of amplified because you can threaten your opponent so much easier, right?
It works both ways, I would say. It's not that one-sided, because if it's a small map, then getting lots of grunts to the certain point is much easier when you have a commander on your lap. And it's hard to get the BP up with your cons, because then you would need to waste the BP you had on your lap to get the con turrets to just scale more. And it's much easier to do with the commander on the lap.
Yeah, and to that point, right? Autopilot has 100% army value advantage right now. He's kind of pressuring Andy's front here. He's going to take out a radar, which is super important to have. Looks like Autopilot is sneaking through with a couple more grunts down south. Andy does have units down there to defend, but he's kind of sleeping on these grunts here by his main base. Autopilot is going to get in and do so much damage right now.
He's going to kill all these cons, actually. Yeah, he's going to set target them and kill all these cons. Yeah, it looks like Randy is losing his majority of the BP on the lap.
Wow, what a little attack there from Autopilot, grabbing 2 cons in the main base. I think he also got a win there or 2, but still following up with some more grunts down south. Andy is reinforcing this position. Looks like this LLT is going to come up in time. His commander is expanding to the middle of the map here, going to deny this expansion con from Autopilot. But okay, looks like construction turret is the choice Andy's making to kind of remake his build power, but he's really struggling on energy at the moment.
Yeah, he's trying to get so much stuff at the same time, expanded with commander and the 2 cons building LLTs and also 2 cons on base, trying to get a con turret up. They're stalling on energy. We'll see how he manages that, because he actually got almost the same amount of army value as Autopilot.
Yeah, a nice recovery, I'd say, but already we see Autopilot has an energy and metal income lead. Looks like even this is something I've noticed a lot is yeah, their con turrets will just repair stuff instead of using their build power effectively. But Autopilot catching an LLT out from Andy, sniping it down super fast, grabs a radar, grabs a solar here. Really nice catch. He's gonna force Andy to kind of clean up these grunts. It's so hard to run units all the way back to the corner of the map just to do with a few grunts.
Yeah, the main difference I want to point out right now is that the damage efficiency is going in a huge favor of Autopilot. It's 170% and only 50 for Randy, and it doesn't work that well for Randy just yet. He's losing all the maxes.
Yeah, losing even grunt trades up here, and wait, just these few little raids from Autopilot. I mean, it was 6 grunts there, 5 grunts there, and just grabbing so much value, really. I mean, it was like 2 cons. We had a radar and a solar lost over here, some more mexes over here, right? So really kind of building up this advantage pretty quickly in this game, right? We're only 6.5 minutes into this match, and I'd say Autopilot has a pretty nice lead right now. I mean, he's up on energy, he's up on metal produced, he's getting more build power in his main base, more solars.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if Randy knows where Autopilot spawned, because if you click on his player camera, he has not scouted anything of Autopilot's territory. He doesn't know absolutely nothing, actually. He might have suspected that Autopilot spawned on North.
Yeah, and he needs to get some more cons expanding out here. He's missing so many little things here. I mean, he's missing a mex. There should be a radar right there. He needs to pick up these 2 mexes, get a con expanding behind his commander, right? Which he did. I mean, I think he kind of, I don't want to say blundered, but the advantage of moving your commander so far forward like this is everything behind it is naturally defended, so to speak, save for this one little choke point he needs to run through. So kind of losing out on a bit of the pieces here he needs. He's trying to fix his energy issues right now. Looks like he's got plenty of build power in the main base. He is sending out some expanding cons, so doing the right moves here, but of course autopilot has a slight advantage, I'd say.
Autopilot is just going for thugs. He's going to try to push this Randy's commander away of that choke point and expand himself there. And Randy has actually got... Actually, he got Raider on these units. He sees them, but
Right.
he doesn't have anything to defend them.
Looks like 2 exploiters here defending bottom left. Andy did finish kind of expanding down here. I'd like to see him continue expanding here, but yeah, autopilot searching for an expansion that's not there. I'm surprised to see he just kind of backs up, regrouping with his grunts here into the middle of the map. And there we go. Andy is expanding with a few more cons here. He's got his commander turning on this lab here. He's just going to be making thugs, excuse me, some construction bots and then thugs on repeat, but autopilot's already here. He's got 4 thugs. His lab is right behind us, even transitioning into T1 vehicles here. It would be interesting to see what he chooses to make, but if it's anything like the games from yesterday, I'm sure it's something to the effect of pounders.
It's probably Pounder, medium tank, but I would still go for Incisor at the beginning of the game.
Right.
Oh, he's actually going, yeah, 3 Pounder first. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to get some push going on North and not lose all this rocket bot with the Thug. Yeah, it's a good decision.
Yeah, I'd say so too. And you're kind of front loading the movement speed as well. You're just making these right out of the lab. They take a bit of time to get where they need to be. And then these fast moving incisors can start printing those after. So autopilot going to try and use those to punch a hole somewhere on the map. Looks like he sent a really nice construction bot forward here. He's already made these 4 mexes in bottom mid into exploiters. He has a second con expanding behind this to bottom right, so really trying to split the map in half. Already has a con in middle making radars and exploiters. I'm sure Andy would love to have some build power that far forward.
He actually might try Wolverine plus Founder push on North. I'm actually excited to see that. He's been trying it out on Seth Ravine, but we'll see if he does it on this map.
Both players, you know, really just posturing with their armies, not taking any big fights right now. Andy, I'd say, is still kind of recovering from all the damage he took earlier in the game. He is finally recapping all of these mexes, I'd say. I'd like to see a raider up here from him, but you know, these construction bots feel so late getting to top left, right?
Yeah, still all these maxes are not taken. That's also pretty slow. He's been trying to get some anti-air going there. He's probably thinking that he'll get shuried.
Yeah, okay, finally Andy bringing his commander forward. He does have a really nice T1 army composition right here. Thugs and maces, or excuse me, thugs and rocket bots paired with the commander. Really deadly combo. He needs to retake these 2 mexes next to his lab, but I mean, if he can threaten this position above autopilot's main base, I mean, it can be really bad as the blue player, right? Having units shill your main base from the high ground above it, but an autopilot knows that and is going to defend this with everything, right? He's making some twin guards right now, kind of anticipating this attack.
He's just trying to get more Pounder up.
It's like autopilot's everywhere on the map right now. He's sending forward a big contingent of incisors and grunts here into this position. He's going to really gun down all these LOTs from Andy, clear out the mexes. Andy might be able to defend these expanding cons. Looks like, yeah, he's going to rotate around, try and save those. This is going to get
Randy's army is getting pounded really hard, actually. He's not going to be able to do anything about it.
Maybe a slip in micro right there. Andy defends bottom left. He's got to push in mid here, taking out a few exploiters, so I really like this kind of punching back, but autopilot snuck 5 incisors in the top left. He's going to kill these 2 expanding cons. They just barely couldn't finish that mex. I mean, maybe he can try and reclaim.
That's not good for Randy.
Okay, there are a bunch of wrecks down here to reclaim. I hear an air transition out of autopilot, so third air, going to be making Shuris right now. Going to be looking for a really efficient fight here. Andy's going to be stepping forward with a pack of grunts. There's incisors and pounders trying to cut this off. I think the Shuris might be just enough what save this. Yeah, he's got 9 Shuris already out. More than enough to stun this army. Andy did send a resbot down south. Looks like he's just going to be reclaiming for now.
Auto is actually trying to get twin guards almost everywhere on south on this little choke point as well. On north he's got 3 already going. He really likes these twin guards, it seems.
Yeah, they're very strong, I'd say. Been seeing more and more of those from players.
Yeah.
And Andy's looking for damage that I just don't think is there. There's already Shuris out to defend. You're kind of just throwing this army away, I'd say. I mean, he's gonna
Actually not enough Shuris.
There aren't? No, yeah, so these grunts do get through. He's gonna threaten these mexes in bottom right. But yeah, can't step over here. There's more than enough defenses, right? Looks like there was a pretty big scuffle here on the other side of the map. Those 4 incisors turned towards this factory position from Andy.
Looks like Randy's trying to get an all-in going on autopilot. He's actually moving his 30% commander. I don't know, that's a good decision.
Yeah, well, it's going to defend this army from anti-air for now. Looks like, oh, these twin guards just barely staying alive here. I think Andy could have just committed a little bit more if he wanted to make sure those went down. So there's one defending a bunch of reclaim here for autopilot. He's got Shuris out to defend. The grunts in bottom right are still going at it, but I think are getting cleaned up now. He did make some air cons to, you know, grab all this metal, recap these mexes. Really nice to see. But like you said, Andy's trying to get something going here in top right. He did get through all the twin guards, so there's just pounders right now to defend with a few lashers. There's so many pounders to defend here. More than enough, I'd say. You really have to abuse the thugs here. What is the range diff between 380 to 315? So
Yeah, I'm not sure about this push. It's not going to work. Too many pounders, too many whistlers just shooting. And meanwhile, his commander is pretty low. He's got 40 down to 40% HP. I'm not even sure to what he lost so much HP. Probably these incisors that went on his like north base. Probably was them.
Andy teched into air himself, right? Did make some air cons to try and expand to top right, but I think one of these already went down, right? Or there's 2 stacked up right there, so yeah, this incisor needs to be dealt with, and if autopilot, you know, sees these air cons, it would be very expensive to lose those. Okay, Andy going for an area control laser tower to defend this position. It looks like these 2 con turrets are going to be repairing the commander, so really good to see. Using some construction vehicles or construction bots to reclaim some of this metal around his main base. But here are the pounders from autopilot stepping forward, take out one of the twin guards, but eating a lot of shots from these thugs actually. So losing quite a few pounders there, leaving a lot of metal in front of Andy's base. But autopilot jumping on top of this reclaim from earlier with some air cons, gobbling that up. There's a huge ball of grunts here stepping onto autopilot side of the map, but he's going to run into a concave of incisors, just not where you want to be. Autopilot kind of asleep, or Andy sleepwalking his way into a surround right there.
Yeah. He's walked into a trap. Both of players making fighters right now on repeat. Maybe you will see some bombing runs going from one of the players.
Yeah, it looks like Andy finally securing this top left side of the map with his own air cons. Autopilot's expanding into Andy's side. They're just making splitters and twin guards, being super annoying trying to clear that out, I'm sure. And even air cons stealing this reclaim right in front of Andy's position. He has to deal with these. Can't let these units grab all this metal. I mean, he's already got 300 metal. Super quickly. There's so much metal income. What is that? 68 metal per second just off of 2 air cons. Looks like they're... I mean, they're going to be shot down, but I think autopilot got like half of this reclaim. They're finally taking those out.
Another agitator is being dropped from Randy. And when I say another, I kind of mentioned that Gasbag game.
Yeah, this is interesting like kind of adaptation on this really heavy T1 play. I was kind of thinking there'd be a transition out of autopilot. No, he's just opting for double vehicle lab right now. It's up to 4 labs in his main base, just making brutes on repeat. So kind of what we touched on yesterday. It's, you know, seems like the first player to go T2 actually throws away the game in some sense, because you're just so vulnerable to just mass medium tank running around the map. It's like, how do you stop these units? Autopilot has a 200% army value advantage right now. And as soon as these tanks get to the front line, I think Andy's going to be in a lot of trouble down in his kind of south left side of the map. Just doesn't have a way to make quality units to defend against those. He's making an agitator on the front line. So
Yeah, the one thing Autopilot should understand right now is he doesn't need to engage into this Randy Spork, because he's got 2 wardens. There is a agitator going up, like lots of twin guards as well, and he's just trying to raid the other side of the map. There is a raid on south with all the incisors, and they're actually cleaning all this maxes, and Randy has no like defense against that. He keeps making the army for north, but then north is a stalemate.
Andy is pushing out of the north with a sizable group of thugs. I mean, thugs on the high ground against pounders. I really can't think of like an easier matchup for you to win. So Andy is threatening this this middle position here, forcing a bit of a retreat out of autopilot, but he's just meanwhile running in a bunch of medium tanks into Andy's base. He's going to clear out at least a few mexes. He's going to clear out some wins. There's so many tanks here for autopilot. He's just barreling down on this main base from Andy, and I don't think he has enough to defend against this. I mean, his army's on the other side of the map. Autopilot has plenty to defend right now. He's got so many lashers and pounders out right now he made from 2 labs. And there's just medium tanks in the back of Andy's base. How do you stop this?
You don't. You don't. Well, Randy's trying to run it down with all the thugs he's got from the north, but it's already too late. Autopilot's got 200% army value more, and yeah, there's nothing really Randy can do.
Yeah, even sending aircons down to south. So it looks like Autopilot's going to try and go through this choke point in mid. Andy's not going to let him have that one, but there's just so many tanks everywhere right now. It looks like these tanks in the main base still haven't been cleaned up. Still finding extra damage, clearing out a lot of the energy from wind, energy of Andy.
I'm actually surprised Autopilot is not putting his medium tanks on the high ground close to the main base, just to get some increased damage with the plasma shots, and just try to get all this BP down with all the windmills that are close to the high ground. But yeah, he's just clearing the entire north as well with his medium tanks and some pounder even. Well, meanwhile, Agitator is not getting much value out of that position. He's Randy overestimated the value of that building.
Yeah, there's so much more map to move into, unlike the previous Gasbag game, right? Andy had a really, like almost a position Autopilot had to respond to. I think a little bit farther forward would have been it, but still, Agitator's much better position last game. This one not doing so much value. That's just forcing Autopilot, or allowing Autopilot, I should say, just to rotate his Lasher Pounder Ball here into the middle of the map. And if we zoom out, we can see, Autopilot cleared out top left. He's expanding to bottom left with aircons, right? He's got mexes and exploiters and twin guards inside, and anti-air inside of Andy's half of the map, right? So really not a lot of things going his way. Andy catching out a few pounders here. Gonna clean these up.
Yeah, I don't think Reddy can do for now. He's trying his best. He doesn't want to resign. It's a final games after all. So he's trying to still win this game. Trying to get some expansions back with the air cons on the north.
And
in the meantime, there is a bombing run.
That's right. Autopilot has his air control. He's got his figs. He's got his bombers. He's going to be going for the main base of Andy to clear out the rest of this air here, or energy. He's gonna screen in front of the bombers with his own figs. I mean, there's a fight going on in mid right now, but looks like Autopilot gonna get a nice bombing run off in the main base, taking out so much of this energy. Of course, he's gonna get a second pass. Like Andy did have a valiant fight here in the middle, but taps out, calls GG. Autopilot takes game number 2.
Battle ended.
Yeah, I would say all games are quite long for the 1v1. It was the 55-minute game, last one, and this one is 22. Pretty long games. Yeah, pretty good games from both players. And now it's Cirolata. I've been predicting that Autopilot seemed to be better on this one. He's playing it safe and yeah, just playing it safe, expanding and not doing any mistakes. That's at least from the previous game against the Bloodier on this one.
Yeah, that was a great match there. I think we really saw how important it is to, you know, take the corners of the map and also find a way to contest mid, because so much of this map is kind of determined by, you know, how you rotate around to, I say, harass your opponents. It's like adjacent corner, I guess the corner that isn't their main base, something like that, the one they're trying to expand to. So how do you rotate and attack that? How do you control mid and fight over that? So really, I do like this map for a couple of reasons, right? It's got, you know, high macro potential, I'd say. The mexes are worth a lot. It's very high wind speed. There's so many geos to take.
Welcome, Commander.
And the map kind of forces your hand in terms of where you want to be expanding to and where you want to be fighting over, right? So see that play out in a lot of the matches. We see Andy already loaded into the map. He's ready to go. He's got his starting position picked out already.
Yeah, he's actually spawned on the Bloodier spot. Bloodier spawned there, exactly there on the yesterday game. He's probably going to try to do the same, and actually Autopilot is doing the exact same thing.
Battle
what do you
started.
Understood.
What do you think makes this spawn better?
It's closer to the other side and it's closer towards the middle, and also it gives you more space to just kind of scale with your windmills and everything. Just yeah, closer to the other side, closer to mid, easier to scale. It's pretty good spawn. I like it more than spawning on the hill.
Yeah, well said. So
Oh, actually, you see, Randy went for Armada, and he's actually going for the vehicle.
oh, okay, interesting choice.
I seen it. He just yeah, he's going to go for vehicle.
Classic start, 3 mechs, 3 wins, vehicle lab on a 25 wind speed map. Looks like Autopilot going for a bit of a more standard open here, I'd say. Yeah, 3 mechs, 4 wins. Going for the bot lab. I think he might have actually overmade energy right now. He's accessing energy, right? Yeah, he's already up to about 10% energy excess, so maybe Autopilot making a bit of a mistake here. Not too terrible, but I mean, his bot lab finishes a little bit before or after Andy's vehicle lab finishes, and this is classic Andy, right? 2 scouts straight away into multiple cons, and like you touched on earlier in game 1, playing very greedy, right? He's going for triple vehicle cons right now off this open, and you can kind of get away with it. We'll see if energy or wind holds up for him. Autopilot going for, yeah, super standard build. 2 cons, keeping his commander in the main base, just adding on wins right now. Looks like he's going to be making a radar on the high ground. I like this choice. Yeah, a bit of a change there in his decision there, choosing to make the radar up here on this island. High ground, you can see so much more down here.
Yeah, both players are going for kind of a greedy expand with 3 cons.
And that favors the vehicle player, right? Vehicle cons, although they're more expensive, they have higher movement speed, higher build power, right? So they can expand much more quickly, and there is a lot of map to take. I mean, 6 mechs is right here. You have a 7th one and a really nice choke point to cut off. Looks like Andy's trying to take the top right corner very quickly, right? It's got a 4th con even coming out right now, so really greedy start from Andy, and I think this kind of favors him, so to speak. I mean, Autopilot made a bunch of grunts, but they're all on his side of the map right now, trying to defend against these scouts. So that's going to buy Andy enough time to, you know, get up some more build power and start churning out these blitzes, right? Which, I don't know. What do you think about the blitz grunt matchup?
I think it favors Grunt, especially on this map. Maybe it's going to be completely different on Hades, because the map is big and and the movement speed of the Grunt is much slower than the Blitz, so it's hard to catch them. But I think on this map is not so big. It's kind of like a small map in my opinion. All the expansions are close. It's easy to defend them. It's easy to just choke it with a couple of armies with grunts, and you won't get any damage done with your blitz. But once again, it's well, there might be some mistakes from players, and we'll see how it goes for them.
Yeah. There is a window of time right now for Autopilot to find damage. He has a small army value advantage, but I think it just the number of units he has out on the map right now spread out. There's some on the left side threatening. I don't think they're going to find too much damage because they're running into an expanding commander. And yeah, I think Andy's, kind of shutting the door right now. He's got 3 blitzes protecting these 2 expanding cons. He's got another 3 over here on the left side to defend against the main base. So if he can find a way to shoo away these grunts on the left, he'll be okay. Because, I mean, Andy has played super greedy. He's made no LLTs, just mexes and radars with these 2 cons. He's finally going to make some to block off this choke point here, and rightly so, because he did manage to take this top right corner. And yeah, I mean, I don't know.
He's actually got pretty ahead, 26%,
Yeah.
and look at the mil per second, it's 76%. All these LLTs, the additional LLTs Autobot has been making, they did not work, and they did not pay off. And in the meantime, Randy could just sneak up with some rovers and get some destruction going on Autopilot side of the map. And Randy has been expanding with Commander at the same time, and yeah, that's pretty successful for him so far.
Yeah, Andy adding some more build power. 3 blitzes did sneak past the grunt wall of Autopilot, and he's going to catch this expanding con. There is a little scuffle here right outside Andy's main base. There's enough blitzes to defend against this. He's got some units or an LLT to defend that choke point. Yeah, and I think this construction bot is going to go down.
Yeah, it's pretty significant damage. I don't think what Autobot can do for now about this. He's not been able to catch all these blitzes, and now he has to get some resbots. We've seen it from the previous matches as well. Autopilot is usually getting behind in the early game, but he usually comes back into the game after some good trade or just off stability.
Right.
Um,
But it's going to be hard to overcome this one because Andy did such a nice job splitting the map in half. His commander already grabbed these 6 mexes over here. He's got a couple of LLTs to defend, right? He has 600 metal to spend, so that just means, get up your energy storage, start scaling energy, maybe make 1 or 2 more vehicle cons here. But, I mean, it just seems like all the things are going in his favor right now. He's got metal lead, army value lead. He's got 2 cons heading towards the center. I think I'd like to see him make a radar actually look like, yeah, that's already what he's about to do right now there in the center.
Yeah. I like a lot how Randy plays. He plays clean. All the expansions make a lot of sense. All the engagements. He's done a pretty good engagement on South right now. He just demolished all these grunts. They're now down to corpses, and he's nothing to defend this expansion. He's been trying to resurrect all these maxes. He actually did. He's actually trying to resurrect a con, but it will go down again.
Yeah, and Andy grabbing on, getting on top of this expansion once again, denying it from Autopilot. And this is what we were talking about earlier. If you can shut down these expansions, you're really getting a huge advantage, even clearing out some radars.
Wow, Randy's doing a pretty good job in this game. I like a lot this game. He's just expanding so greedy and it's working great for him. A Grunt player is not able to attack him whatsoever because he's always under the pressure, while Randy is expanding much more than him with this vehicle cons.
So
And actually he's going for air switch and probably will see Banshee play.
yeah, Banshees would be a great follow-up on this. Just, stifle your opponent's expansions even more. I'd imagine Andy would be going for, some of these mexes and radars.
In the middle, con will most likely go down as well. Randy sees him. He's just gonna, force fire him. Oh no, he's actually just retreating, going back. But he's got more army value. Like, if we look at the statistics, it's 150% more, and that's a lot. And that's with all the expansions he's got. Like, it's 31% more produced as well. And he's got also vehicle, like it's blitzes. It's a better army value than grunts, in my opinion.
Yeah, just so much going right for Andy right now. I mean, he even getting the Geo up with this air lab transition, that's really going to let him stabilize his energy production, grabbing this fourth mech over here, but still threatening middle. Looks like Autopilot did make the vehicle transition, so that's going to force Andy to add on some more LLTs here in mid. He has a big group of Blitz on the right side of the map, threatening Autopilot. Autopilot did have some nice control here. He got the kiting going on with these grunts right now, but they are going to get jumped on by these incisors or blitzes eventually.
Incisors and me, they got stunned from the Twilight. Oh my god, that's a huge damage. And he's gonna lose all of these incisors in the middle. And the entire middle control and the entire right side control is fallen. Autopilot has no units.
And here come the Banshees. What is this? 6, 7 Banshees out for Andy. He's not really revealing them just yet. He's running them to the left side of the map, going for this aircon, which I love. You can capture those island mexes. You can maybe fly over here to this huge reclaim field. Just start gobbling that up before your opponent has an opportunity to send some cons over there. It looks like that's exactly what he's doing. So really nice job. Not quite targeting the middle though, so you might see him reclaiming some of those trees. But here come the Banshees. Running into the expansions of Autopilot. He's going to split up a few of them here, just targeting down these mexes.
Autopilot panicking in the meantime. He's going for his own air lab and he's no answer against it. He did not think Randy will go and get the air so early. And that's a surprise for him.
The Andy making figs. He's got so much metal to spend right now. He needs to put down a few more construction turrets and maybe switch into medium tanks, but looks like some of these Banshees are going to be cleaned up. Andy pulls a few of them back. He's got his commander in top left right now, just kind of chilling out. And, you know, while Autopilot was forced to deal with those Banshees, that just gave these two construction aircraft all the time they needed to reclaim a bunch of this metal. There's still so much of it left on the ground, but just a huge swing right now. Andy floating a lot of metal. He's got 2,000 metal to spend right now. You got to find a way to spend this, man. Put down...
Metal access in a bit. Yeah, he can drop a metal storage. It's not a mistake. It's pretty good just to not access the metal. It's always a good addition. If you know you're reclaiming a lot or you did not spend properly, it's always nice.
Autopilot still has not taken these bottom right mexes. He has a vehicle con over here to finally grab those. He's got some incisors on the left to defend this reclaim field, which Autopilot, you know, has a few options to grab that. He's got some res bots now, resing these mexes from earlier. He should be making aircon. Yeah, we see one coming out right now. He's making his Geo, just now finishing for him.
Oh, the right side engagement. Autopilot did not think Randy will get so many blitzes there. And he's losing all of them. And that's a 1000 reclaim field just there. Wow. That's a huge damage.
Yeah, Andy's got a 272% army value advantage. He's sending more blitz down here to the bottom right to harass it once again. And I feel like has a pretty sizable army here in mid. There's already quite a few medium tanks. Looks like he's going to be sending these forward as well, along with these blitzes. He's up to 2 vehicle labs right now, trying to spend all of his metal. I'd like to see him start another Geo, but here he goes with this push in mid, forcing Autopilot back.
Yeah, Autopilot is right now trying all the advantages he can possibly get, trying to get some mines going while he has the energy in storage and also getting the pounder that will most likely help against blitzes. We'll see how it does. It actually just dies right now against blitz. Blitzes are too fast.
Yeah, it's a nice like kind of pre-splitting there from Andy, whether that was intentional or not, but those pounder shots not really able to connect with multiple blitzes, which is what you need to, you know, kind of stun them, lock them into position so they can't escape those shots. But it looks like Andy did push Autopilot out of mid. He's doing a good job reclaiming some metal, capping these mexes. He's splitting off a force of medium tanks here to the left. And finished, yeah, just being so diligent about grabbing this metal, reclaim both players. Still some here on Autopilot's side of the map, actually. I think he could have done a bit better job kind of reclaiming that, but he's too busy using his air cons to cap these island, put up anti-air turrets and radar, which will come into play I guess a little bit later in the game, but still, Autopilot needs to find a way to I get back in this game, really. I mean, he's taking bottom right. Trying to put up some exploiters right now, but I don't think Andy's going to give him a lot of time to breathe. He's grouping up a lot of medium tanks. He's just sending a few over to this other side. Oh, I say a few. Looks like a few of those got blown up by the mines he was making, but the mine layer goes down.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Randy is not trying to get any Janus just to clean up all these bounders, which would be the right decision here. I guess he's just trying to get as many medium tanks as possible on the front line.
Looks like he's kind of thinking about making a bombing right now. I see he's queuing up some bombers, but
Yeah.
you know, autopilot try to get a little pressure going here on the left side. It forced a kind of rotation from Andy and move some tanks over here to try and defend. Looks like he is going to shoo back this army from autopilot. And here comes the bombing run from Andy. He's got enough figs out, kind of screen for these bombers. He's heading towards the main base. We'll have to see how much damage can he actually get done. I mean, it's really important to target the build power, the energy storage, something.
He's going for the windmills actually, and it's gonna work pretty good. All these windmills, it's probably everything he has besides this Geo he's got. And if the wind goes down, well, he'll be in a very big problem. Yep, he's calling GG.
Andy punching back, taking game number 3. Getting a point on the board,
Battle
making it
ended.
2-1 here. So yeah, really nice showing from Andy. That's what you need to get back in this series. That's what you need to do to show your opponent you can take this series down. So great job.
Yeah, really great job. Yeah, I agree. That was a really great series by Randy. Almost no mistakes at the beginning of the game. Really great scaling. Insane expansion with 2 cons on the right side. Just insanely fast grabbing all these maxes without any LLTs.
Yeah, it did like
yeah.
super greedy. Even had this con in the back. So I'd say this was a really well thought out open from Andy. I mean, he expanded to half the map so quickly. We saw he grabbed that advantage in the early game from autopilot just with the first few moments, just right out of the gate. So we saw that snowball into a W, I'd say. So just leave this lobby. We'll go back to the lobby with our players. Looks like they've already switched the map over. Autopilot's ready to go. Andy calling for a bit of a break. I think I'm going to do the same thing myself, so I'll be right back.
Yep, same.
Welcome, Commander. Battle started.
All right, we are back. These players too quick. Already loaded into the match. We're in game number 4, our Pro League Season 8 Finals. Got Andy versus Autopilot. Andy punching back last game, getting on the board, bringing it to game number 4. Autopilot not quite on match point. And take a look at these starting positions here. You see Autopilot opting for, I'd say, probably the safest spawn you can choose, right? Up on the high ground here. 3 mexes, 2 solars into bot lab here. Andy busting it out. I see playing Armada now. Very similar open, but going for the air lab. He showed this in the quarterfinals versus Akamar. I don't think it worked out terribly well for him. Just a couple of little mistakes here and there. Losing the gunship, losing the air con, dropping a blitz, but he's gonna give it a go again. He must really like this open actually, because he uses it quite often. We see Autopilot going for the construction bot here first. taking these 3 mexes here. I like this spawning position because you can actually, yeah, you can expand to these from the high ground, cap these mexes. He's going to add an LLT, radar, anti-air, turret. Got his commander. Baking, what is that?
I've actually seen lots of air starts from Randy, and that's not a usual start because it's a solar map and it's hard to do it on this specific map because you can get lucky with the wind, and that was the kind of like the advantage of going air. But I'm not sure about this map.
And Autopilot is going to get a little bit lucky here. He made this really early radar on the high ground, and he will see this aircon here before long, right? He's going to be capping these 4 mexes. He's got his gunship out. He has skipped the LLT here, which you usually see him kind of making, but he's got his commander to block up the stroke point. Looks like he's going to go for 2 gunships, Stork, and a... Okay, you have to target that radar, right? No, he's going to go for the mexes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and there's not a lot here to defend. Autopilot is, you know, he's making a grunt right now, and those do not deal well with gunship. So Autopilot is going to lose, what, 1 mex, 2 mex? He does have his commander expanding right now. This anti-air bots, they're so expensive. You don't want to make these. Looks like the Thrasher is going to be made. It's going to, you know, get 1 shot off. Andy's going to commit for the mex. Flies away. Is it going to get away in time?
Shoot. Oh, he couldn't shoot because of the solar wreck.
Oh my gosh.
He actually shot it. Yeah, that solar blueprint did not let him shoot.
Looks like Andy's going to get 2 more mexes here. You got to move this gunship back and get it repaired up. Looks like that anti-air bot got a few shots off on this. Andy going for the 3rd mex. We saw him lose this aircon the last time we played this game. I wonder if he's going to maybe making a bit of an adjustment here and send it to maybe over here. But what is the transition like?
He's doing the transport blitz. He's going to try to kill all these mexes on the low ground of Autopilot that he's trying to get with his constructor.
Wow, not going for the main base even. So Andy learning from his mistakes here. He's going to drop the blitz on the low ground here. This LLT is not going to be done in time. So he should end up getting 3 more mexes for his troubles here. Meanwhile, yeah, Andy did transition into a vehicle lab. He's got 3 vehicle cons out right now. He took out 1 mex. I think he could have actually got this construction bot if he stopped under the cliff right there. Looks like this LLT is gonna barely finish in time. Andy, okay, doesn't choose to go for it.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. He's killed like what is it, 8 mexes so far.
Yeah, that's right. 8 mexes. Looks like Andy's trying to get some more damage, but I think this transport is going to be dealt with. We'll have to see. Andy's running it right to the Thrasher.
He sees him, yeah.
You know, it is blocked by the cliff though, so if he lands right on the edge, he'll get this off.
We'll might land. Oh, he did not. That was really close actually. If he immediately landed, that would have worked.
Yeah, a bit of a blunder there, I'd say. But Andy has capped these 4 mexes. His commander's walking to the middle of the map. He has so much build power out right now. Up to what, 5 vehicle cons. He's, you know, making some solars in the main base with 1. Looks like he's going to bring another one forward to expand with these 2. And this is something Andy does so much. You know, 2 vehicles, cons expanding one direction, the commander expanding the other. Looks like Autopilot is going to try and edge build an LLT here to defend against these, or to, excuse me, harass these mexes on the high ground, but Andy already has an LLT mid. Going to force Autopilot to walk a little bit farther forward. You know, I'm seeing a scenario here where Autopilot wants to, you know, walk a little bit farther forward, and Andy's just already there with his commander and blitzes, but it looks like Andy's kind of backing away, trying to grab these mexes here.
Yeah, in the meantime, Autopilot actually found the way to get this LLT up, and he's going to destroy this to Maxis and the Raider.
But he's stalling on metal right now pretty hard. Andy has a comfortable metal advantage right now. And I'd say I like the position of Andy's commander because if you control this top mid, you get the 4 mexes, you can eventually get the geo, you can secure this plateau, which is very important. Looks like Andy, meanwhile, has got a bunch of blitzes grouped up on the bottom side of the map. 3 grunts is not enough to stop this. Even scouting this position with an aircon, somehow this is still alive. And Autopilot has thugs like on repeat. I mean, now he has grunts, excuse me, but he made he made 8 thugs, and I'm a bit worried for Andy's commander, actually. If these thugs get grouped together and kind of split Andy off from his main base, could end up losing this game. We'll have to see. Autopilot being really aggressive right now.
Yeah, I would say both players are being pretty aggressive, and both players went for their own strat, kind of. One went for the blitz attack on the south, and the other went for the middle attack with the thug. And we'll see how... Like, blitz already worked. The blitz cleaned up all the mechs. Oh no, he actually did not clean up this mechs, and even the raider is still alive.
Andy is in an advantage right now, but he split off from his main base. This is commander. This is like the worst case scenario. He's you know, desperately trying to put down LLTs with his commander, but I'm a bit worried for him right now. I mean, maybe there's a play where he can get a air lab back up and ferry that commander into his main base, but Andy's, you know, pulling his blitzes back. He's grouping some together. Autopilot having a bit of energy issues at the moment right now, making his own, and I think he's giving Andy at least the opportunity to continue to stay alive for now. I think there was a window there where Autopilot probably could have ran down that commander.
He's also trying to play safe. Look at him, he's just trying to get his 4th LLTs. And I think he'll try to go for the middle maybe with all these thugs. I'm not even sure if that's a good decision, but we'll see.
Oh, is there like a base race coming on here? Autopilot has 8 thugs walking into Andy's main. He's making some Janus right now, but Andy's moved all his blitzes together to the south side of the map. 15 blitzes right now. It's going to threaten a big attack down there. Andy retaking these mexes. I think Autopilot's kind of clawing his way back into this main. He was able to sneak a construction bot along this right side, so he's getting these 4 mexes for free. He denied 3 of Andy's high ground mexes. And here comes that attack with the blitzes here. So getting on top of the grunts even, you'd really want to be microing these grunts back to kite these blitz, but you know, killing another construction bot or Autopilot and denying these expansions once again. But on the other side of the map, 4 thugs still alive. Looks like these Janus shots are going to end up clearing them out. Some blitz coming up from behind to defend against this. I think one more volley should end up clearing the rest of these thugs.
Yeah, Giants are dealing with it pretty well. And the air contest just died in the middle, and he got just 1 max and the wall. That was a pretty good choice by Randy.
So Andy has won back this position, I'd say, but Autopilot is, I feel like, in a pretty comfortable spot. He has a forward position that Andy has to clear out. He was able to take these 4 mexes on the right side. He's kind of retaking south down here with some res bots, which are kind of doing their thing. Andy clearing up the rest of the thugs. So, you know, he's got a few mexes to recap. A little bit of metal on the ground to scrape up. And what are these main bases looking like? Autopilot. Healthy number of construction turrets in the main. He's remaking a forward vehicle lab here on the low ground. Really like that. And has enough energy in the bank to go for some A-solars, which are really important to start scaling here. Looks like Andy kind of backed away from this position, lost both of his construction vehicles down here and the LLT. So really nice play from Autopilot, actually catching Andy out there. I was going to say that was such a nice position for Andy to hold on to, but getting cleared out was really nice.
Yeah, there are A-solars being dropped from Autopilot. He's trying to fix his economy. He scaled with more counters, and he's actually got the vehicle lab on the lower ground. He's trying to get his famous pounders on the front with lashers, and actually he queued up 2 Wolverines with all of it. That's pretty interesting, actually. It may be the first time we've ever seen the Wolverine being used in the finals of BPL.
Autopilot has 2 res bots here on the front line, getting so much value. They're picking up these LLTs, and eventually we'll grab this vehicle con too. So Autopilot securing both top mid and bottom mid would be huge for him. Denying these mexes from Andy, you really have to secure one of these positions, right? Either top mid or bottom. You can't let your opponent have both of these. So Andy going to be jumping in this position, but I don't think he quite has enough. There's 3 LLTs here to defend, and all of this metal going to Autopilot. Yeah.
The 2 resbots are dead. Now Autopilot has no bot lab, and he's not being able to like just reclaim all of it immediately. He can only get this cons out. Yeah, he queued up 3 cons to reclaim all of it. Meanwhile, Randy is actually attacking on front. He's down to 39% of the health HP, and Yeah, he's trying to get this con, but
Okay,
not likely.
I think this next few moments might decide the game here. If Andy can secure this reclaim field, there's so much metal here, almost 2k metal sitting here in bottom right. He needs to grab these mexes and control this position, but he's bringing down some Janus, medium tank Lasher. He has decent build power in the main. He needs to fix his energy issues because he can't quite spend his metal right now and get up some build power. So there is an opportunity for autopilot. It looks like he's being a bit sneaky with it. Tucked into an air lab. He's going to be transporting some cons here all around the map.
Yeah. I was actually thinking he's gonna transport the contours to the south to take this reclaim field, but it doesn't look like he's able to. Yeah, you were right. Randy is going to just, well, sweep this south and gonna take this entire reclaim field. And it's gonna work in his favor. Meanwhile, he just needs to scale. Yeah, and he's doing it.
I'd say autopilot is a bit ahead in terms of energy scaling, which is nice. He's getting more build power in the main base, more A-Solar, so definitely very far ahead in terms of this. If he wants to go T2, I think he can make it quickly enough to not like put himself on the back foot in terms of tempo. And speaking of which, he has these Lashers and Wolverines here in the middle, just clearing out Andy's forces, kind of forcing him to pull some units back up to mid. Andy just now finishing gobbling up this metal, but you know there's Pounders on the front line to you know, pressure this position.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the tier 2 switch. I don't think any of the player will go for it for now. Randy is not the player who goes tier 2 earlier than his opponent. I'm not sure if Autopilot does either. So yeah.
See, Andy already kind of preemptively making some LLTs and anti-air in his main base, kind of sensing some kind of drop here. I would like to see a little bit more of a commitment from Andy trying to contest some of these plateaus, but he doesn't have a way to get a transport out right now. He could be edge building some LLTs with his commander if he knew this was going on. I'd like to see him at least make a raider up there, but he's too busy trying to take this top mid. And now Andy has top mid and bottom mid, which, you know, if goes on for a long time, especially if he ends up getting this geo or either one of these geos, which I don't think we'll quite see. But here we go. Andy finally sensing this, what's going on here. He's going to put up some LLTs, deny these mexes from autopilot.
Yeah. I mean, this Wolverines and Pounder plus Slasher, it's a great combo. I'm not sure if it's gonna work that well against the Janus. The Janus is kind of like a best I don't know, choke point unit in this like kind of maps, I would say. But yeah, maybe Wolverine is gonna take that place.
Andy trying to get an air lab up right now, but there's already bombers out for autopilot. He's got 6 bombers and a scout going in, so he sees the main base of Andy. He's gonna target down these solars here, get a lot of them. Just a few anti-air to tickle away at these bombers. Looks like one of them does get taken out, so only one anti-air right now. Andy's stalling on metal, so he can't make these anti-air turrets. He can't make any lashers of his own. He's trying to pull back lashers to his main base to defend, but I think autopilot.
Yeah, he's lost 3 conturets and lots of solars without even the wreckage. They're just gone. And now he needs to get all of this back. And Autopilot is getting ahead of it. Meanwhile, Randy is actually dropping a lap on top of this cliff.
Yeah,
or was it like a plateau?
Yeah, autopilot has a twin guard up already with the construction turret, so that's going to be pretty hard to clean out. There is a fight in mid right now. Andy's trying to win back this position, but you know, Wolverine, Pounder, Lasher. That's a good combo there. You can't push into it against the Pounders. These Wolverines are going to slowly get value over time. We'll see if Andy's able to get enough thugs on the high ground here to contest these twin guards, but I don't think autopilot's going to let him have it. He's moving up more build power here to repair against these. Andy's going to try and take out one of these twin guards, but I just think with the repair, right? Yeah, it's just too good. There's no way to repair these maces. Looks like Andy did catch one of those construction turrets, so nice job.
Well, there is a reclaim field on the Randy's side of the map, and Autobot is not planning on taking this in any way possible. I mean, I guess he can drop a counter it, or yeah, he's actually planning to do it, or maybe not. Yeah, well, for now he's not planning on taking that reclaim field, and that's a lot. If Randy takes it, he might come back into this game fully.
Looks like Andy's going to get a couple Wolverines on this high ground in his main base. It's going to kind of zone out units from moving through this choke point right here. So kind of forcing Autopilot back into the face of Andy's army. And I mean, Andy needs, he needs to get some more build power. That's the issue right now. He just has the one construction turret. He needs to get up some more. He needs to get up some energy storage. Autopilot really pulling ahead right now in terms of energy production.
Oh, Randy's playing very aggressive with his commander Deacon in some of the LLTs, and being dropped again to 58% of the health bar. He's playing very aggressive with his commander. I wonder if he's maybe going to get con-sniped this game.
Yeah, there's a group of incisors and grunts here trying to clear out this top mid. This is where Andy's commander is at. There are 4 LLTs right here with the commander. I don't think that's going to be enough to threaten this position. Meanwhile, there's a huge fight in mid. Autopilot already has resbots on the front line here. D-gun's going off. I think Autopilot's just a few moments away from winning this game. If he can win this reclaim field, he already has so many resbots here. 12 resbots ready to start repairing and reclaiming all these units. And I don't think Andy has enough build power to, make enough army to really stop what's happening here. He's got a bunch of Wolverines on the high ground, which are going to make it a bit tougher to get to this part of the reclaim field, but...
Oh, they're being shot actually from the low ground. And we have to remember that Shell Shocker is much worse than the Wolverine. And so he won't be that successful at dealing damage towards enemy. And Randy is trying to walk back with his commander, but he's stuck in that territory, and he's planning on going for the air switch and probably save his commander. I'm not sure if it's gonna work for him.
Yeah, but this is the story right here. 14 resbots, 2800 build power, just rezzing all of these units right here.
Yeah, everything's going up from Autopilot. He's going for the aggravators from the rocket bots and the pounders as well. He's just trying to get everything at the same time. Yeah, I'm not sure if Randy is able to stop this army. He's like trying to save his commander from that death, but his main base is going to die quicker than his commander.
Okay, it looks like it's going to be a gunship snipe here. Autopilot already kind of sniffing this out. He's sending some fighters forward over Andy's main base to just try and scout what's going on. It looks like he ended up seeing that heavy transport here. And here comes a T1 army from Autopilot. Looks like Andy's going to see the writing on the wall. Taps out, takes game number 3. So... really fascinating match, actually. I liked how Autopilot navigated this game, kind of teching into that air lab quickly. It gave him a lot of ways to deny these plateaus from Andy, kind of secure those for himself. I think one of the big turning points in that game was Autopilot jumping on top of these 3 LLTs down here. That bought him so much time to secure the plateaus and kind of fix his energy issues. So
yeah. He's also taken all the maxes from plateaus just by making LLT, and that was really fascinating. Like I just did not expect such a sweep from Autopilot, because Randy's plan was definitely to never lose this maxes and get insane value out of it, and that did not work for him that well. So we're jumping into the game number 5, I assume.
So match point for Autopilot. I know we kind of touched on earlier who the map pool favors the farther we get into the tournament. And I want to say the remaining maps we have is what? Greenhaven, Seth's Ravine, Hades Pond. I'm thinking that for now these next 2 maps favor Andy. But if we get on Hades Pond, I would give the advantage to Autopilot then. It's just such a big macro map that's like the exact position Auto wants to be in. sitting
Battle
I would actually
started.
say the opposite. From the interview, we've heard it that Autopilot doesn't like Blitz, and he's surprised that they're really good. And Randy has showed us that he's capable of doing insane amount of impact, like on Cirolata he did against Autopilot today. He just whipped that game. He did not give any chances to Autopilot. He was leading the whole game with his blitzes. And yeah, I think that's what's going to happen on the paid response probably as well. I'm not sure.
Man, I was gonna say I don't like Otto's open here, but I think he's gonna get away from it. Andy's going for a Cortex bot lab here, so really no way to pressure this greedy open from Autopilot. So already gonna have a nice advantage here. Got his 3 T2 mexes, or 3 2.3 mexes turned online. And looks like he's going to go to a vehicle start of his own, so not looking good for our red commander.
It's actually different right now. It's actually Grunt playing Randy against Blitz from Autopilot. It's completely different. They just, well, changed completely their factions and their labs.
We'll have to see this start from Andy. Does he do some kind of crazy, greedy open here? He's going for the 2-con expand. Pretty standard so far. Kind of stalling on energy at the moment. Actually, not producing metal from his mexes. But yeah, it looks like he's going to get... I mean, this is a greedy start. Does he walk back to the lab with the commander? Surely he does.
I'm not sure. I don't think he did last time I see him playing on this map. He just kept walking front. Well, we'll see. But I'm actually surprised he's not using the very advantage of the bot lab. He's not going for the res bot. And there is about like 600 metal reclaim on the map. Oh, he's actually eating trees. Oh, wow. That's interesting. It's 67 energy income right now for Randy's commander. Just out of this trees.
Yeah, he's trying to get this radar up. Looks like it's going to turn on just in time to see this rover sneaking in. Oh, his Autopilot's going to get this mex, isn't he? There's a grunt here to defend.
Oh, yeah,
Looks
most likely.
Oh!
Oh, no way. No way. He's not taking that. Wait, all the solars are getting just stunned. They're not working anymore.
And Autopilot done making scouts at the moment. He's going right into blitz right now. He's got 1 con expanding. This is like right where you want to be at as the vehicle player. Just, you know, tempo, just being aggressive. Gonna continue laying on the pressure as these blitz numbers increase, and it's gonna be on Andy here to defend against these scouts. And you know, he's doing a good job of microing against this in the top side, his expanding cons, but I see 5 scouts heading towards the main base, and there's just not a lot here to defend.
Actually, he's doing a lot with the scouts. So one mech's been cancelled, and I think the second mech will go down. Yeah, it goes down, and that's a huge damage for the bot player. Maybe even the mechs on the main base is going to get down. Yeah, and I'm not sure
3
about this
mexes.
commander expand. I don't see it working for him.
Yeah, even getting
Even
the
radar
radar
goes
too
down.
here. I mean, huge damage from Autopilot, and there's just a stream of blitz heading across the map right now. Autopilot is not slowing this down. He's got his commander on low priority and making as many blitzes as he can, and just expanding to these 2.3 mexes. I'd imagine he'd be kind of naked expanding after this, but you know, I think a one blunder is making this LLT while you have so much pressure. You've done so much damage to your opponent. I think we'll have to see. And he did make a res bot here, so he's gonna res these mexes here. He's still expanding with multiple cons and his commander. So I mean, if he can weather the storm here for the next few moments, he might end up getting an advantage. Just, you know, being farther out on the map with the commander, having so much extra build power expanding. But here come the blitzes. 3 blitzes in the main base. I don't see anything to defend these solars right now. One goes down instantly. Second one goes down.
And the third one. Yeah, that doesn't look good for Randy. His com expand, his greediness does not work on this map. There is no good expansion, and he's not getting that much value out of these expansions. In the meantime, Autopilot already got more metal produced with just a 1 vehicle con, non-stop expanding, already got a second one out, and just consistently getting the army value going in his own favor, 166%. Yeah, it's a hard game for Randy, definitely. Yeah, even this max on North is going down. He's actually not rebuilding anything on his base. Even this max, he can't resurrect him anymore. The max is at debris now. He's just trying to drop more solars in the middle of the map with his commander. I'm not sure about this. It doesn't look that good considering all this blitz can just run into that and kill all these solars. And he won't be able to do anything about that.
Yeah, it looks like
And
out
the
of
lack of raider kind of hits.
this LOT finishes just in time. Randy does have enough grunts to kind of shoo this away for now, but another rover sneaks through. There is a grunt back here to defend, so Andy has a way to deal with that. But you know, really forced to make all these LOTs is not what Andy wants to be doing, right? Making solars with your commander in the middle map is not what you want to be doing. He wants to be expanding, grabbing more metal income, but he's kind of forced to play a bit defensive here. Slowing down his expansions, finally getting this raider up. He's going to be able to see these blitzes rotating maybe a bit too late. Autopilot, I don't want to say being indecisive, but just kind of backing up a bit. He's got another group of blitzes heading along the left side of the map, and this might be more than Andy can deal with here. He's got a lot of his grunts forward here. Finally now reacting and seeing this. He's going to try and move some grunts back, but there's just 3 grunts here to defend against 4 blitzes. Andy doing a good job splitting up though,
But yeah, just 2 cons out of autopilot. Slap is expanding pretty much faster than all this like commander expand and 3 cons from Randy. It does not work, and the lap is going down. I feel like he's just self-D'ing it. He actually self-D'd his lap. Wow. Oh, I guess Randy wants to resign or something. I don't know. Doesn't look good for him. He lost his entire main base and he's trying to drop him a lap in the middle. It's also going to be grunts on repeat. Yeah, he keeps losing the maxes on North. These ones are pretty important because they're 2.3. And yeah, the damage is being done and it's a huge damage. All these blitz keep running and they keep dealing non-stop damage. It does look like blitz are pretty good in this meta.
yeah, especially on this map. I would say this is a vehicle map. It's just so flat and open. There's so much room between mexes, and blitzes have such good movement speed. You can kind of be everywhere at once, defending, attacking, harassing in multiple places. Autopilot doing such a good job with these scouts all game long, just constantly sniping these mexes in the top left. And yeah, here are the blitzes getting on top of the solars.
Yeah, all this vehicles just sweeping for that expansions of Randy. And I want to mention that LLTs are not doing quite well against the blitzes. They're just demolishing them. And this middle expansion he's got, well, he doesn't have it anymore. All the solars went down and all the maxes as well. And Randy is down to only having the lap on his in his middle. That's a huge damage. He's planning on counter-attacking. Actually, he's going with all his grunts into the autopilot's base. Maybe planning on taking the commander down. I actually don't know what the actual plan is.
Yeah, that has to be it. Autopilot kind of is reading the situation correctly. He's making some LOTs around his commander. There's the one way he loses this game is like right here and now. Bunch of grunts heading towards the main base. This is Andy's last chance to, get back in this game. If he can find a way to snipe the commander, get a decent surround. But I don't think Autopilot's going to give him a chance. There's blitzes coming back to defend. There's blitzes in the main base. His commander's got multiple LLTs around him.
Yeah, I don't think Autopilot is going to lose his base, and not his commander for sure. He's got tons of blitzes, and this amount of blitz is much more valued than all these grunts. Yeah, Randy doesn't plan on resigning just yet, but that lapse of D on his main base kind of, just showed that he kind of gave up on this game.
Really abusing the terrain
grunts.
here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I actually never knew about this terrain mechanic on this map. Oh well, Randy is trying to get some res bots out of the middle. Is still trying to get some value out of just cleaning out all the the autopaths expansions. He's actually doing it quite well, but this is not enough. Not enough damage.
Yeah,
feel like.
yeah, there's still the 2 construction vehicles out on the map able to expand. Looks like Autopilot's doing just that. These grunts are kind of getting bled off right now. Looks like Andy lost the rest of his grunts behind Autopilot's main base, and yeah, ends up tapping out. So Autopilot taking it down, our BPL Season 8 champion, showing a really
Battle
strong run through
ended.
this tournament, taking down Below Deer, taking down Andy. Really nice showing.
Yeah, a really great game. I have to say that both players played their best, and we've seen it from, for example, all the 3 first games. They were very competitive from both players, and also the FTL. Maybe on Greenhaven, Randy maybe got a bit tilted, or maybe he had no game plan in general, and that's why it did not work that well for him. But it was still very well played. He played until the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Just trying to find the win condition there when you're that far behind. I think that's what carried Andy to the finals himself, right? There were so many games that kind of looked lost in his tournament run, and he just somehow finds a way to take out the other commander, right? So maybe that's the luck Andy was alluding to.
Well, yeah, if the win condition is to snipe all the commanders, and in 1v1 it's just one, then it shouldn't be a problem. You should always have a chance on winning by sniping them. Are we actually doing an interview with Autopilot after this?
Yeah, I'm asking right now. He wants to come back to the channel. We can kind of give him a little congratulations.
Yeah. What do you think overall? What game did you like the most out of today's final?
That first game on Gasbag was really cool. I liked that one. The I don't want to sound biased, but maybe the Cirolata game. I mean, not just because Andy won, but I think that was just a really strong open and strat he showed there. So
Yeah, I agree with you. The Cirolata game was something else. That advantage he's got, was something else for sure.
looks like we got one of our first finalists back in the booth, Andy. Sorry for the outcome, man, but really strong game. So that was a great series to watch.
Yeah, really well played. You tried your best. You did good.
Thank you. He's too good, this boy.
Yeah.
So
he's young and ready to win tournaments, it seems.
Well, Andy, we were both surprised to see your air start open on FTL. Do you think like there was anything that could have gone differently that game to or different from what you had intended?
I felt the start went pretty well. I think I just could have played it better when I switched to vehicle. I think all the blitz I tried to make didn't really get much work done. I should have switched to some other units a bit earlier and maybe tried to take that high ground 4-mex a bit more securely and maybe put a bot lab up there for a bit.
Yeah, that map's kind of hard to play. I'm not sure if Autopilot is gonna show up. Let me ask him on Discord.
I'll be running down the street right now. Arms above his head.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's too busy celebrating. So, Andy, was there anyone in the tournament you wanted to play? I know you had a pretty tough run there up to the finals, but...
No one in particular. I just enjoy playing, competing, and trying to win games.
Yeah, pretty cool. See, is there any maps you kind of enjoyed playing on, or are there any ones that you would want to see added to the pool or removed?
I've never been a fan of Greenhaven, and after the last game, I like it even less. But no, I thought the map pool was pretty good. It had like a good mixture of stuff. There's some maps for everyone there, I think.
Mm. Okay, we're gonna get autopilot moved in here. Hey, Otto, congrats.
Hello. Thanks.
Yo, yeah, congratulations.
Well played, Otto.
Yeah, GG's was some really nice games, especially the first one. Did not expect a 50-minute long game.
Yeah, I felt like the longer that went on, the more it got into your FFA comfort zone.
Yeah, so I started the AFU stack and just pray that I don't lose.
Autopilot, do you have a favorite game from that series or something that stood out to you?
I mean, that first game was really nice, I must say. I couldn't really tell who was winning either. Like, there was a lot of back and forth. But it definitely felt like Randy had an edge on me for most of the game with that high ground.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to try and kill you before it went to tier 2, but
Yeah.
too gamey.
Yeah, there's bud connections. There was a few good ones there, I'd say. Yeah, but Andy, you had a nice job splitting there through a lot of them in that game. I was really surprised to see how good thugs can be splitting against bedbugs.
Yeah, I barely got any connections actually. So it's a bit surprising.
Autopilot, is there something you practice in particular or focus on that kind of separates you from other players or lets you get to the finals?
I think it's just focus a lot on the macro side of things. Just standard like expand, spend your metal, and don't e-stall. Like I've tried to focus a lot on that, and I don't focus as much on my micro, and that's usually how I end up winning. I feel like I just win by macro.
Yeah, well said. I kind of shows that series versus Blow Deer. I'd say that also came into play a lot. But you know, I'd say both of you have fairly similar styles. So I think that maybe you'd agree with me. That series probably could have gone either way. I mean, it did go to game 5, right? So, yeah, well played. Yeah, tough run.
I was surprised on Heartbreak that you took the other spawn. I didn't even realize until like 2/3 of the way through the game that you'd started top. So I was trying to accomplish that.
There.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I saw you spawning there the other game against X Factor, and I thought I just mirror your spawn, but then you ended up spawning in the normal spawn anyway. But I think it worked out fine. It's actually not that bad as well.
I wanted to put my commander that side to try and push where you were weak, far away from your lab, but I never knew that I was pushing right into your base.
Yeah.
That's the problem with never scouting with grunts.
Yeah, really interesting, I guess, difference in spawning positions and how the game turned out. But, is there any other things you guys would like to say before we kind of wrap up the stream?
I had another question on Greenhaven. You switched it up from, I think against Bloody, you went grunts. No,
yeah.
I'm thinking wrong.
Not against Bloodier, but against someone else.
Oh, someone else you went grunts. This time you went, blitzes. Any reason for that?
I think that Cirolata game we played kind of decided it. I feel like I got no value with my grunts that game, so I thought I'd just play Blitz on Greenhaven as well. And it worked out pretty well. Blitz too good, I guess.
Because I'd seen your Greenhaven grunt build and I was just trying to do the same but with one extra con so I could try and be a bit ahead, but Yeah, the Blitz
Yeah.
did well. And the Rovers were very well microed.
Yeah, I got some insane damage. Yeah. Was a bit surprised. Just all worked out kind of in that game.
Yeah, really strong micro. I was surprised in that game just how much value some of those rovers got clearing out those top left mexes. So I think that really contributed to the advantage you had,
Yeah.
or ended up getting, I should say. Well, congrats again, Otto. Really strong showing. Congrats to you too, Andy. Really impressive making it to the finals, giving us a good show. So, thank you for that. Hope to see you next season, of course.
Yeah, looking forward.
Yeah, so I got a few more seasons planned this year. Can make an announcement in the Bar Pro League tourney, but I think the next 1v1 tournament we have is going to be the Alpha Cup in the second week of April. So not too far away, just 6 weeks away. We'll have another 1v1 tournament for you guys to show up in, kind of compete over, and we'll have everyone back. Same group of casters. Different map pool, perhaps a little bit different format, but high level 1v1s. That's what we're all here for. So looking forward to that. I just want to say thanks again to everyone who helped contribute to the tournament. The players, the casters, the patrons, the channel members, everyone who supports the league, whether it's monetarily or with your time. It all culminates to such a great event we can all share and be a part of. So thanks everyone who makes this happen.
Thank you as well for hosting.
Yeah, my pleasure. Sash, thank you. Thanks for co-casting with me. It was great to have you here. Pretty solid casting, and we'll be back again
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, I did great at casting. Yeah, thank you for everyone, for everything, for watching, the chat, the players, everyone else, and you, especially Barcast, for running the stream and doing the commentary, and also just being a spectator and showing viewers your spectator view.
Yeah. And yeah, I would like to shout out VDB and Slick again for stepping up yesterday, running the stream, making sure the broadcast came to you guys. So be sure to spam in the chat. Thanks to them for making yesterday's stream happening. So really cool. So, all right, that's it for us, everyone. Thanks for watching. We're gonna be ending the stream, but just hit the like button, leave a comment, and we'll be back again in April with the Alpha Cup. So see y'all then. Thanks for watching.